Welcome, everybody. It's finally time to get back to some Sunday League of Legends action here with the Dominant League, but we get a little bit of extra taste here for you folks today. We're not even ready to go to week one. This is a play-in scenario for the Dominate slate here, and I won't be the only one taking you through all this right now. Pre-show, we've got a whole list of casters, but I've got to shout out my main man, Might here. Might, how excited are you to get some really big implication league before we even get to the season?
I am super excited. One of these
How
teams is
excited
going
are
to get
you
eliminated tonight. You are going to see, I believe, a total of 4 teams. This first game, of course, going to be the 14th seed versus the 17th seed. But one of these teams is going to go home, not even get a chance before we even head into regular season.
Yeah, it's crazy that we get this like sort of playoff environment before we even get to play the season, and it is a bit of a funky bracket, so I'll break it down for everybody at home so we can kind of understand this. If you're a fan of Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, their pro scene, they love to utilize these tournaments a lot. Actually, you'll be seeing this sort of style of tournament with the upcoming Worlds tournaments. I believe even MSI might mix this in as well. It's a Swiss format bracket, so basically you're playing a team with the same record as you. Everybody's starting out at 0-0, so our featured matchup on this stream will be between the 14th and 17th seed, like Mike alluded to, which the 14th seed is the Lobster option squad versus the 17th seed Children of the Void. So whoever wins that game goes up to 1-0, and our other stream running Dominant Action will have another set of 2 teams. Whoever wins that game to go 1-0, those 2 will go head-to-head, and the 0-1 teams will go head-to-head. And then from there, it gets a lot more chaotic. I'll explain that one much more down the line, Mike, because I don't want to confuse everybody, but certainly easy to state that you want to start off on the right foot in this first game.
I'd say every single game that you're playing tonight is extremely important if you want to have a chance to play in Dominant this season. You do not want to drop a single game. You want to bring your A game. This is not a time to slouch. This is not a time to slack off if you want to play in this season. So these teams, I expect it's their chance to show us what they've got. These are the weakest 4 teams, just based on seeding in the tournament, which is why they are playing in these play-ins. So this is your chance to prove yourself. This is your chance to show the other teams out there that you've come to play, you come to mean business, and that you're here to take the whole thing. So I'm excited to see what these teams bust out. I hope we see some spicy strategies. I've already done a little bit of reconnaissance on the 2 teams we've got today, and we've got some very interesting matchups. This is a Diamond Cap League, I believe. Is that correct, Slayer? Just correct me if I'm wrong.
So we
are in a Diamond Cap League, and we're seeing already on the Lobster option squad, we've got mostly plats and golds, but they have a ace in the hole, which is a master player. So I believe there's an exemption made for B-Dart, who is going to be their ADC. But he is a master player, so you're going to want to keep an eye on the bot lane here for the Lobster option. Whereas Children of the Void looking a little more standard with a plat diamond lineup. Of course, Shinigami, their mid laner, being the diamond player from last year, is playing mid, but from just the quick scouting that I did in their OPGG, was a Scion main last season. So it's going to be really exciting to see what strats get busted out here. I think that the bot lane is going to be something that both these teams are going to want to watch and heavily prioritize.
Yeah, I think it's a great point to make, and when we're talking about taking the broader scope of the pro scene when we talk about the meta, it's certainly a big factor to talk about, right? Because we're barely into season 13. We've already seen a bunch of crazy changes to the meta, and I've been trying to keep up with the LEC, LPL, LCK, and the craziest thing to me, I don't know about you, is the bottom lane combinations we've been seeing so far this season from a lot of these squads. It certainly feels pretty wacky with how utility oriented some of these support picks are coming. I mean, I had to do a double take the first time I saw Hanwha Life rocking Jhin support with a Varus AD carry. Do you expect to see any of that chaos down here for these play-ins?
We very well might. There is some spice that can always be brought out, but I'm thinking that these teams, because their life is on the line here, their chance to even play here and dominate, I'm expecting to see a little bit more standard. I do want to mention that, like the poster that I've got back here, Nami, who I'm a Nami main, I love Nami, has been seeing a lot of pick and play and a lot of amateur scenes, as well as the solo queue ladder. So I'm expecting to see Nami to be a pretty highly contested, especially since B-Dard loves Lucian and has been spamming a lot of Lucian and performing quite well on that champion. So I think Nami's going to be a hotly contested pick. I also think we can see Mundo in the top lane being hotly contested. Udyr is another great pick. Even Malzahar is really, really good right now. So we've got a lot of interesting ways that these drafts can go, but I think bot lane is going to be the priority.
Yeah, I certainly agree too, Mike, and I'm very excited to not only get to talk to you about season 13. I'm glad you made the Nami point because I know you already talked to me before we even got onto this analyst desk about how much you love Nami. I
I
certainly
love
agree.
her.
I think Nami's very strong. I think actually she's the reason propelling Lucian play up in the first place. I don't think
Mm.
Lucian would be playing at all if it weren't for Nami's, and the solo queue ladder and the win rates of Lucian, at least in North America, certainly reflect how bad Lucian can be without Nami in that situation. But I'm excited to see, just how much we'll be able to break down these really intense games, and it should be a really fun one. Is there any other parts of season 13 you're really looking forward to see on display here today before we get out of here?
Jack Show. That item is ridiculous. Also, I forget what it's called, Radiant something. I think it might be Radiant Dawn or something. But that item is also seeing a lot of stocks. Zach is picking that item up a lot, but Jack Show is really the item that I think that we got to keep an eye on. People that can abuse Jack Show tend to be performing quite well in this meta.
I certainly agree. Well, Mike, as much as I'd love to talk with you more about this, draft is getting started, and I am very excited to throw it over to our two casters for tonight's action. So, Lam and Crims, take it away with game one of our dominant plans.
Thank you very much, Leo and Mike. Leo, aka Slayer. I'm sure everybody is aware of who that gentleman is. Crims, we got some League of Legends to cast here.
Yeah, and Mike was excited one of these teams is going to get eliminated. I'm sure he loves to see teams going home, taking the airport L early. And you know what? I am as well. I want to see one of these teams get their hearts broken. And it's not going to be off the back of Samira or Kassadin. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, we certainly have an arrangement of champions that are on the ascendancy in League right now, right? We have the Zac, which in every lane possible is absolutely broken beyond belief. Top, middle, jungle. Really, when you lock that champion in, it's kind of hard to see where it goes. Another champion that's actually been hovered right now is that Maokai. It's actually going to be locked in by the Lobster option. So I'm excited to see that champion take to the Rift because I think it's just unbelievable in that jungle role right now.
Oh, that Maokai is completely busted right now. You go to the poke build, full AP, full mage, and you can take supports down to half health in one spell with the sapling toss into a bush. Udyr is a counter, so they do know their stuff here at Void. The Udyr does win into the early and late games. Mid game, Maokai does have a lot more power, and it's interesting to see, will this Udyr be able to counter the Maokai in the early game and or be the unkillable tank lamb? That's what I'm interested to see. Now, we might be seeing an AD carry pick here. No OPs have been picking straight away, and I am agreeing with Mike here. But Bernard is going to be insane in this game. They're going to take away the Lulu very strong laning and as well a hyper carry support pick. And I think Bernard will respond here. Interested to see what's going to happen.
Well, we will see if that famous Nami pick comes through that Mike is such a fan of. The Lucian's been locked in. We're fully expecting Leona, Nautilus, anything
No,
like
no,
that.
no.
Yeah,
What? You're forgetting Nami? There you go.
There it is. All the predictions are good today.
Lamb doesn't like fish, apparently, as we're moving on here in the draft. I do wonder if they're just going to pick the Zeri, some kind of hyper carry with this Lulu. It makes the most sense. They definitely set it up. They wanted this matchup. They had to know the Lucian Nami was coming from Void. So this is exactly what they're expecting. And now, what is their plan?
Well, you have to bite back with something here. You think the AD carry is going to come through? Yes, it is. Look at that. I mean, the color caster might be in my future here, Crims. Sever locked in.
Okay, all right.
let me have that one, please.
Yeah, sure. You can have that one. You'll get one in my ocean of W's.
One and done. That's it for me. One and done. One and done. But we're second phase of the banning. But I kind of want to come back to both the our teams that we have here, right? The Lobster option and Children of the Void. Basically, we know nothing about them. All we can tell is when we were actually told about who's going to go up against who is the bracket that they ended up in. Either way, it's such an exciting time going into Dominate because now this little play-in, basically everybody is playing in a final, right? Every game is their final. They have to leave it all on the Rift. So you can see with these picks already that they're feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, I think both of these teams have a planned out comp in mind already. They've executed on that. there's always going to be a give and take here, Lamb. So you gotta give to get what you want in these drafts. Silas is going to be taken away. Interesting enough, Silas is good into the Maokai, so a bit of a question mark from that Void ban. And the Jax, definitely not going to have that new Jax on the field here. A bit disappointing from my side. I love split pushing, and well, no more Jax here.
Well, Jax is always split pushing, but right now he's take over the game. He is incredibly strong in this meta already. And I mean, all of these champions that we see on here kind of following that trend, but the fat man going to come through, Gragas. Going to be locked in for Children of the Void. I mean, maybe not fat man, okay? It could be, you know, there's a variety of things that go into dictating somebody's BMI, but in this case, we are talking about Gragas, the champion, and not people, right?
It's a bit of both. He's got a sumo build. He's got muscles under there, but there's also some fat.
Heavyweight division. Heavyweight division.
Okay, heavyweight. The heavyweight man. Is that... You know, it doesn't roll off the tongue as much, Lamb, but you know, we'll roll with it. As Rise, this champion has not been nerfed yet, so it is definitely a strong pick, especially in competitive. 50% win rate. Rise is busted in competitive, we all know that. And they have their option for their top laner. Gragas can flex mid and top. Same with Udyr in the jungle and top lane as well. So Void might be pulling a little bit of flex tricks here to make this last pick difficult. They're going to go with something nice and scaling with the Ornn. Very strong blind pick and also very strong champion. Those ornaments are very crazy on the champion right now. And Void, I'm assuming they're going to pick a mid laner. They are going to hover that Yone into the Rise matchup. So that's going to be a lot of aggression. Lamb, this is going to give you a chance to shout out your good play-by-play with some huge ultimates here.
I don't know about that. You know, I'm just filling in here. But look, this is I kind of think that from Void here, this is a really interesting pickup in the mid lane, because traditionally when you see the Rise, you kind of opt to go towards the Syndra, another type of control mage in that lane. Yone has infinite scaling, so can kind of match up with the Rise, right? So it's not so bad in terms of that, but they're very heavy AD unless Gragas is going to go full AP, which he normally does, right? Yeah. But then you're thinking, well, between the Gragas and the Udyr, who's going to be the front line? Of course, Udyr in the state that he's in, he can be a carry potential for this team as well. So a lot of question marks on how they're going to actually play the game here in terms of, like, are they going to look for those 5-on-5 potentials? Because if you look at the Lobster option right now, apart from the Rise early on, they're pretty strong in the lanes.
Yeah, they are going to be losing Ornn in the top side, but that's a-okay with them. They have the very strong bot lane duo, Lucian Nami. They're going to need to take over the bot side of the map, get those dragons, and then they're going to steer that control over into the mid lane with Rise. Rise can certainly clear in the face of Yone, and that's going to give them the option to roam. So I'm thinking this is going to be a bot lane, the option. I think this is going to be... This is going to be a bot lane stomp angle for the Lobster option. That's what they're going to be going for Void. I mean, they want to scale on that bot side, so they're going to try to hold fast, you know, make sure that their Sivir doesn't get blown out of the water. They can use their Udyr strength for those ganks, and then they have some kill potential with the Gragas into the Ornn. Normally, you want to make sure that the Gragas is just ahead and holding down Ornn while you make plays on the map. So I think it's going to be a mid lane angle for Void here. I think that is going to be interesting because the Yone does have potential to mess up that backline. Lucian, Nami, Rise. If Yone gets on them, that's going to be a kill for sure.
And so, kind of diverting your attention to the jungle now. So it is going to be Maokai against Udyr. Shown very early on from both of these teams, prioritizing that jungler pick. And it's understandable why they end up getting taken away, if not in the first banning phase. Pretty sure it's in the second banning phase. And I want to go back to my point. The Syndra was actually banned away. I kind of missed that, so that's why it wasn't picked on the side of Void there. Who knows? Maybe they still would have ran with the Yone. But the jungle path is also important. Where do you want both of these junglers to go? Do you think they're going to try and influence that mid lane and maybe try and accelerate the Rise a little bit more? Because with the lockdown potential that you get with the Rune Prison and the Maokai as well, his utility is insane. And once he starts to get those AP items on board, the Demonic, the Liandry's, he becomes very, very troublesome for extended team fights.
Yeah, so the Maokai Rise combo is pretty good for that mid lane gank. They do want to make sure Udyr's not there. They definitely lose that 2v2. So level 3, they do have an option. Both junglers can gank that mid lane. Udyr's not going to be afraid if Maokai shows up. They win the extended fight. Maokai Rise don't have enough burst early game to kill Udyr, and Yone definitely has enough shielding capabilities to sustain that as well. So if they do go for that 2v2, they're going to lose. So they have to play it smart on the Lobster option if they want to gank mid. But I'm thinking all eyes are on bot lane, Lamb. I think it's clear as day that both these teams are going to be looking to mess up bot lane. Maokai, once he hits level 6, excellent ganks on the bot side. It's very powerful. Sivir does have the spell shield, but there's more than enough CC to make sure that Sivir does not escape, and Lulu's going to be a sitting duck in the nature's grasp there. So I think both teams aiming for bot side.
Polymorph, Wild Growth, Spell Shield, going to be super important. Timing on those. We'll see what kind of happens here, but I'm going to get a quick prediction from you, Crims, based on what you can see in front of you right now. Who do you think is going to take game 1 in the best of one?
Well, I'm going to go a slightly different angle. Void is the red team. You know what? I'm going all red team today, baby. Shame on all of you guys for not wearing red today. And you know what? You guys are just going to have bad luck. So Void for me, it's going to be red team all the way.
I'm going to be
has no idea, and that's fine with me. You're not going to have good luck today.
No. Chinese New Year, right?
You're not wearing red. No good luck. All of you, Slayer and Might, sorry, you guys are not going to have good luck. Sorry, you didn't wear the right colors.
Okay, while Crims flames the whole production crew, we're actually going to toss it on back to the analyst. I'm actually going to predict that Blue's going to take this one just to be the bad guy in this story. You live long enough, you get to see yourself as a villain. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't if Crims doesn't stop flaming me. But back to the analyst desk, Leo and Might, let's get your thoughts on the draft.
Wow. Okay. Wasn't expecting to get flamed right out the gate with this lovely crew. I have a loophole. I'm a red head, Crims, so I'm always wearing red. There you go. Got him on that front. But certainly an intriguing draft, Might. And I guess I kind of need to, like, do you want to take a bow or something? You kind of just bodied exactly what we were expecting from champion picks in this draft.
So I've played in my fair share of Plat and Diamond leagues, comp amateur scene, and also the solo queue ladder. So I've got a pretty good read of what teams are at least going into game 1, what their plans are. This is all going to change throughout the regular season, of course, but just looking at people's OPGG, seeing what they're most comfortable on, and then also reading the meta, you can get a pretty good idea of what teams are basically going to be going for. I think one of the most interesting picks there, though, was Shinigami opting for the Yone. I think that last pick kind of threw their draft in a whole different direction. So the Severe Lulu is a relatively safe bot lane. They're not going to get necessarily blown up if they space properly and just clear waves, which is ideally what they're looking to do. Severe has excellent wave clear. They're not necessarily going to carry the game, but they are trying to survive. Whereas I believe they are going to put efforts towards Shinigami in the mid lane. If that Yone starts to pop off, if Shinigami is able to get kills on Choppy and then move that advantage into the bot lane, that's when you start snowballing. So that's really what they're going to need to do. They can't play a standard like team fight comp, and I think they recognize that with the Gragas pick and the Udyr pick. Those are excellent gankers. Whereas on the flip side of things, we've got Lobster option. They're playing through that bot lane. They even drafted 2 tanks with a Lucian. Lucian is usually a pretty self-sufficient AD carry. He doesn't need a whole lot of peel. He doesn't need a whole lot of setup. He can just kind of do what he needs to do. But they opted to pick 2 tanks to support him, to be like, we're locked down whatever you want. It's just go button all day, every day. So I like the comp here, and I'm giving the edge over to Lobster option at the end of the day. What do you think, Slayer?
That's a great question. I think you brought up a really great point, Mike, that I think, and I will preface this by saying a majority of League of Legends matches are affected by this. The mid lane is the X factor. The mid laners are the X factor for this game. So I think if you're on the red side, right, you're already talking about prioritizing. All right, R5 is our advantage, right? We don't get to first pick a champion we like. We get to give R5 over to what is usually your mid lane or your top laner. And this time we saw it come on the side of the mid laners. So like you mentioned, that Yone at R5 for the Void squad is very impactful because I think can really harass this Ryze early on in the game. And in this current patch, 13.1, that's what you have to do against Ryze. Ryze is kind of one of those king mid laners that was in the dark for so long. Is kind of seeing a Ryze come up. Well, no pun intended there. Actually, I didn't even try to throw that at all. But yeah, so they try to get Ryze up in the meta. Ryze is certainly one of those better mages right now, along with, your Castins are very high picked, and Nivea's seen some very high play as well. So you have to disrupt this mid lane pick, and Yone is certainly a good way to do it in lane while also being effective for scaling later into a team fight around a Sivir Lulu who are, you know, built to hyper carry. And then you have Gragas and Udyr who are a serviceable front line with a little more, you know, they can create a little bit of action with crowd control and set up plays for their squad. But this is why I'm going to lean towards the Lobster option here. I just think their setup trumps out what you could see from this Gragas and this Udyr. And, you know, sure, Sivir may outmatch this Lucian, but if they get ahead in the lane and Ryze stays serviceable, I will, 11 days, you know, 8 days out of the week, I will take a Maokai and Ornn frontline for a top jungle combination any day over an Udyr and a Gragas. Certainly also the fact that Maokai also does a bit of sneaky damage currently with his build path. He likes to, you know, get a demonic embrace, those saplings to get a bit of burn going as well. Some really, really strong champions. So I'm actually going to throw it to, I'm going to go with you. We're united in the front here on the analyst desk for this first game. I'll give it to the Lobster option in this big game, but I do want you to play a bit of devil's advocate here, Mike. If you are the Void side, what do you have to do to win this game?
You have to stomp mid lane. Okay, you cannot let Ryze get online. You need to delay his Rod of Ages as early as possible. So as late as possible, I'm sorry. Start delaying it as early as possible. So I would like to see just like a potential like push ganks. So like Gragas push the top lane, move in with Udyr. They 3-man mid, even if it just forces him off the wave and makes him lose gold. Udyr needs to like love this mid lane. Looking for like mid duo roams, so like mid jungle duo roams with Udyr Yone. Look to capitalize on potentially catching the Maokai out while Ryze is still weak and getting an advantage there. Yone has to get ahead in the first 10 minutes of the game. If we do not see a substantial lead from Yone in the first 10 minutes of the game, the Lobster Squad got it. But if we do see that lead, then you transition that lead to the bot lane, you put their strongest player, Vidar, down, and then their team fight is weak from then on out.
Wow. I mean, I'm like I should have been sitting over your notes. So I don't have a notepad. I'll make sure to get one out next time because Mike just gave the entire blueprint for Void to win this game. But we're obviously both rolling with the Lobsters. We're in a bit of a seafood mood right about now, and we have a little bit more time as we are getting things prepped for this game. And Mike, I do want to ask you just a bit here. I'm gonna put you on the spot right out the gate. I know how much you love Nami. Nami's in this game. Give me a bit of your tier lists on Nami skins. Like, what do we call it? Don't give me the end-all be-all S tier one out the gate. Like, okay. Build me up. How do we feel about the amount of skins that Nami has?
Okay, so I own every single Nami skin. I'm missing only the Space Groove skins because, you know, my ship hasn't come in yet, but it will soon. But we got Cosmic Nami is in the lowest tier. Cosmic Nami, no good. Next, a slight step up from Cosmic, you got Deep Sea. Then after Deep Sea, you got River Spear, okay? That's it. Then you're moving into high tier, and you got, I'm gonna say Koi is next. The best Nami skin in the entire game is Sacred Staff. If you don't have Sacred Staff Nami, I don't know what you're doing. How are you playing Nami?
Wow, okay. I mean, yeah, I think that's a great logic, and to find out where our Nami player in this game 1 falls on those rankings. It's finally time to hit Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Mike can talk about skins for hours. We're not going to do so. It's time to go back onto Summoner's Rift for this big match, our first play-in match for the dominant season of the winner split here. And to throw that over, it's time for Lam and Crims to take things over. Take us away, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. We certainly like the skin element of that discussion. Crims, how many skins do you have on Nami?
Oh, Nami? 0.
Come on. Okay, you get minus points already. I don't even have the champion unlocked. Anyway, we're going to get...
Wait, then you get more minus points.
Come on, no more minus points. We already had our shenanigans today. Speaking of shenanigans, Shenanigami in the mid lane. What a name. Here we go. Yeah,
Lamb?
You say it way better than I. Yep. It's all falling apart. We might cast it back to the analyst desk. I don't know. But look at this start already. Crims, we get our answers to where those junglers are going to start. Maokai opts to start on blue sides here. And Udyr gets assistance from that bot lane. Look at this Lucian Nami, though, just chilling. Waiting to see if they get a little bit of cheese going. I believe that's not going to happen here. But you already said you heavily favor that Lucian Nami in that bot side. Do you think that's going to be withstood from Kali and Jusung in that bot lane?
if they do pull that off. But Bedard doing his best to make sure that that does not happen. Already laying down some trades. Top side, we saw Osiris up in that top lane there take a bad trade. That might actually be just what they want from Udyr to get a perfect gank angle on Blaziken here. So we'll see if Gifon can get that gank. I'm just going to assume all J's are just the Nordic J, where it makes the Y sound. I don't know why I do it, but that's just how it happens, Lamb.
That's why we have you on the deck, dude, because you give us that different view of something I don't even accustomed to at all. But look, I mean, the Nordic aspect of it, we're not going to see any Vikings in this game, as I can tell, but we are seeing heavy trading up there. Gragas against the Ornn, and Ornn is winning that thus far. Early on in the game, you have to put respect onto that champion. But old Che gets twisted advance, ruined prison. Good flash actually coming through from Yoni to get out of that one. But pair your eyes up to that top lane right now. Is Udyr waiting in the wings? No mana on Blaziken, which might mean he's in trouble. Rage already used. Doesn't get the knock up into the wall, and Gefjon gonna get the first blood of the game there. The Udyr making that gank count. But I mean, that bait coming in from Osiris in the top lane, definitely worth mentioning.
Yeah, that is exactly what they were planning. I don't think they wanted Gefon to get that low, but they certainly played it accordingly here. Bedard is laying down a lot of poke, but look at this. The mana bar is completely used up. This Lucian is out of juice, and Maokai looks like he's just going to go ahead and pick up that scuttle. They definitely can't gank or dive in this situation, so they need to get plates and probably a good reset and try again next time. Meanwhile, topside, this CS difference is significant. I'm thinking Gragas can hold his own for a long time now. Oh, Shinigami.
Oh, they bait the soul unbound. Okay, he's already lost his flash. We're in prison. Choppy tanks the turret. Still burning with the ignite. Oh, he's tanking the minion wave. So that's a good trade over for Yoni in that mid lane.
Yeah, Shinigami with the ignite picks it up. The Lord of Death gets his call there, and now the mid lane is not as bad up in CS, but he does lose some CS to that turret here. So far both teams have spent all their ganks in different lanes here, Lamb. So this is the game plan going in. Interesting to see it play out, and it's looking like Lobsters are going for the mid lane stomp. I thought there's gonna be more bot focus, but they're utilizing that Maokai for excellent ganks. They are using that combo that you mentioned, and it's going to be really hard for Shinigami to get out, especially without a flash.
Synergy is a huge thing when it comes to League of Legends. You're certainly seeing that in the aspect of Maokai, right? This champion, for a long time, was a sleeper champion. Wasn't really picked up by a lot of people because it fell away from the meta, but it's been on such a resurgence now that you have to either pick or ban it. The utility the champion offers, I mean, it's been reworked several times with that ultimate, and now it seems to have found that sweet spot here for him.
That is exactly what they're going for. And Choppy is a little bit behind in this EXP department. Look at this. Shinigami already level 6. Definitely going to be an interesting factor to see if Shinigami is going to go for the kill in the lane or potentially ruin the bot lane plan. I think Shinigami can actually go for a bot lane gank now, and that's going to throw a wrench, a spanner in the works, as you would say, Lamb, for Lobster.
Oh, throw a go into the works there. Gragas giving him a little bit of a stat check there. Yeah, he's pretty beefy once he gets that Drunken Rage going. But First Dragon actually picked up good rotations from Children of the Void. A Dolce, hello?
Okay, well, bit of a Uno reverse there from Osiris. Just gave him a 4. I wonder what the communication was like, because, you know,
I'm gonna run it right here.
You know what that is? That's the luck of red. That is the red luck playing in right there. Mind controlling Madolce to go for that dive.
What the hell? I mean, if that is the trend, I mean, I swear to God, I was watching somebody play solo queue yesterday. They had a Kindred who went down that path. It's not a nice path. Oh, bubble lands as well. Good combination coming out from Bedard. Flashes forward and gets the kill. But Kali shooting back. Boomerang Blade doesn't get the back on that to get Lucian, but still falls anyway. The pancakes, man. The Nami gonna get it. Oh, Might is gonna get it. Whoa! That's a kill for Might right there.
All right, so they do win the 2v2, but not the way you would expect Nami's going to pick up the kill. They're going to get the push in with the assist from the Maokai. That CS going down the drain. And yeah, they went for the Lulu. Smart thinking from the bot lane of Lobster there. They knew Lulu's the more vulnerable one. Doesn't have the spell shield, and they're not level 6 yet. And they're just going to be able to throw that on repeat, Lamb. So I think we're going to be seeing a visit in the bot lane sometime soon when the level 6 hits from Bedard and the Pancakes man.
Well, averaging a kill a minute, we're probably expecting somebody to fall here if that trend is to keep up here, but 7 kills, 8 minutes into the game, that's pretty good, honestly. We're expecting kind of fireworks and all of these best of ones, like we already touched on. This is a final, basically, for everybody to try and cement that place and dominate, which would be so exciting to see any new additions. And of course, it's a big one going through. Yoni in that mid lane, we already mentioned as well. Well, Crim's made reference to the fact that that XP difference is evident in that mid lane as well, and that's not so good for the Rise. He wants to try and keep up there and accelerate a little bit more, so he's going to be delayed a little bit. It's not the worst thing in the world. He has that kill to his name. Of course, they traded over very respectfully, but that Realm Warp is going to be super important going forward, especially if Lucian and the Nami can keep up the pressure that they're expelling in that bot lane.
I need something more from Gefon here. He did make some plays early, but I want to see him shake something up here. Bot lane is at a tipping point, so is mid lane. And I think right now, perfectly timed gank could give them the game. Meanwhile, Doche, I mean, he did go for that play earlier. He's almost level 6. He's almost got his ultimate. That's going to be a huge opportunity. So either Gefon gets something happening right now, really turns in the favor for his team, or Madolce is going to get level 6, and he's going to have a great opportunity to take it for Lobsters themselves. So, Void, I'm looking for you to make a play soon.
Have a look at the path in here of both of the junglers. Looks like they will meet up eventually. Oh, actually, Maokai is opting to go to the chickens, or is he? Yeah, he's just seen that Yoni is pathing down there as well with Udyr. They just cleared out that pink ward. There was defensively, but now they're moving away. Madolce is sticking around, though.
Yeah, they don't have vision on them going back to lane. And it looks like Choppy has pushed it in, and that is going to be the reset from Shinigami. But now, Madolce is looking at this angle here. It's a bit sketchy, but it is doable.
Rise.
Oh, the Rise ult in. This is going to be huge. Maokai in range from the start. They're not even level 6 yet.
No flash on both of the bot laners here, and they do tag up the Lulu yet again. It just seems free every time they make a trip down there.
Yeah, Lulu, it's a walking money bag right now. Osiris pushing that in, and it looks like they're going to use that gank opportunity to trade the dragon for the Rift Herald. They already have one dragon under the belt, so that's going to be a fine trade. But look at all these plates going down. Kali doing best job clearing the minions, but they're going to lose the money down there. So far, both these teams, Lamb, looking pretty neck and neck, despite how we said the bot diff was going to be. Look at that CS difference. Someone else is making up for it, though.
Yeah, 600 is that gold lead. It's not too shabby. Sivir is having a hard time down there, but rest assured that Kali, once gets that first item, really, Sivir will try and execute those waves. As Madolce found on the wrong side of the map here, flashes over, twisted advance on the Lulu, trying to get out of there. The whole squad coming for the tree. He gets cut down in the blue side of the jungle.
That is a nice pickup and very greedy from the Maokai. Dolce, again, greedy play. But look at this, sets up the perfect dragon. No reason to go into the jungle, and then didn't get this on the timer. It was a little off, I understand, but still could have been perfectly set up. And Lamb, I'm going to point something out. That is not a phase rush Maokai, and that escape probably would have been a lot speedier if that was the case. This is a first strike Maokai.
That's a very interesting rune setup from Madolce. I mean, it's been very interesting plays coming through for the jungler, the Lobster option, and we'll see if he can keep that trend up. Oh, Jasang taking a very negative trade down there. Pancakes man lands the bubble, the wave, everything, and now Bedard is taking over. The Cullen was just a sweet spot to end that small skirmish that went so one-sided.
All falls from there. Choppy had to burn a flash to get away from that situation. Shinigami didn't have ultimate though, so maybe could have survived. But that bot lane is getting blown out of the water. They were banking on Bedard, and it's looking like that was the right play. So far, 4-1 in this bot side. He has almost a 2K gold lead land. That is massive. He is the one holding up the team right now. And it's looking like this Lucian primed, set, and ready to take over this game. Lulu, Jisung, gotta beware.
12.5 minutes into the game is not bad to get that Gale Force online with the rest of the components. Pickaxe rate dirt going to be picked up as well, and now the footwear going to be achieved for the Lucian, accelerating pretty good here. And now that gold lead went from 600 to, I believe it's over 1,000 now. Quick math is not my aspect on the desk. I'll let you think about that one, Crims, before I hand it back to you. Lulu.
Can't leave you hanging.
Yeah, leave me hang. Okay, I accept the L. I mean, I'm not wearing red today, so maybe that's what's happening. It seems to be the trend. The whole production getting roasted. I love that. Love the energy. Maokai Madolce going in for an ultimate. Shinigami's just going to walk that one out. But Udyr, we haven't really seen him get involved so often since that last visit up to the top side here, Crims. And I know you want to see more out of this guy, but where does he get it? Because right now his bot lane is in pieces.
Yeah, down in the dump. I think Udyr probably doesn't have a good game mid lane. Choppy does dodge the ultimate Shinigami, going for the kill, doesn't quite get it.
Wow.
And now Bedard sees this as an opportunity to get action started on the bot side. I think, Gafon, what we're saying here, the prescription now is just keep the dragon stacks rolling. It's going to be hard with this Lucian, but if they get in position first, they do have an opportunity to make that a tough option for the Lobsters here. So we'll see. They have to stop the Lucian train now.
Well, he does have the dragons and the CS discrepancy in that jungle as well. Maokai Madolce just seems to be just gunning for him right there, but doesn't get anything from it. But you can see that aggression. They rotate the bot lane up, and that's why you see the respect going down from Children of the Void there, not to engage onto the Maokai. The Lucian Nami evidently was walking up right behind them. So that's good communication coming through from the Lobster option to make sure that they don't get caught out there. But they are sieging on that mid lane now. They didn't get that bot lane turret down, but they still opt to rotate the bot lane anyway here, Crim.
That is interesting how the lanes ended up right here. Kali's solo in bot lane. Ryze can counter clear, but I don't think that's the same option for Shinigami. He can go for the kill though, but yeah, there's no way he can get the farm safely. Bedard ranged plus massive damage. You saw how they evacuated the jungle as soon as Bedard showed up in there. So there is a lot of fear being put out from the solution, and rightly so. So I don't think we want to pair Shinigami, your strongest member, into their strongest member where he can't farm. So hopefully they're going to adjust the lanes here. And we have about a minute away, Lamb, from what I'm going to assume is going to be explosive action at this dragon. Both teams want to gun for it. If Children of the Void get it, they're going to be set on having a lot of dragon pressure that they can leverage against the Lobster option here. Otherwise, if they can steal it on blue side, then it gives them a bit of relief.
Shinigami goes across the wall. Oh, wow. He just pulls that trigger every time he's got an opportunity. He doesn't actually get anything from it. But 25 seconds just under that for that dragon to come up now. And now the Yoni has to reset with no teleport. He will get there in time. He might be a little bit late to the party. But you can see already that they're all starting to push those wards into that bot side river. But it's a lot of face checking, Crimson. You have to put respect on it. If they're waiting there, you're going to lose the fight, and potentially you lose soul point here.
Oh, I don't think the Children of the Void should go for this. I mean, Yoni doesn't even have ultimate anymore. Maokai's there. He could throw saplings into bushes. They're going to go for an early engage.
Oh, the Cullen lands every single bullet. Relentless assault head. Well, growth comes out for Bedard. Takes over the team fight. Is this even a team fight? It's a shooting gallery for the Lucian. Call it a forge goes through under the turret goes dry. But they'll let Lulu run away from this one. They can siege on that mid lane, and now they're fully in control of that dragon situation.
Oh, huge mistake from Children of the Void. Shouldn't have gone for that contest. Bedard going for more.
Oh. Hey, Mortal Steel ahead. So on bound gets bubbled by the Nami. Yoni has to go back. Kali throwing out these ricochets. Doesn't really do a lot of damage. Blaze because she's tanking everything there. Jack Show completed for that Ornn as well. But Maokai and Rai shielding over the Maokai. Don't see them on there. Oh my goodness! The Yone goes in and just dies for free. But Bedard is low. Flash forward and the Udyr gets on the board with a shutdown. The back of the boomerang blade tags the Ornn God. And he's going to go down as well. It's a really messy fight here. Fiesta mode activated. We'll see if it continues. But they're looking like they're just going to engage and walk away with that dragon.
Yeah, a bit of clowning from both sides here. Oh, Udyr in trouble.
He walks
Just
that
gonna
one
walk out of
away.
that one. Yeah, has the ram stance and has CC invulnerability. All right, well, now we have to just break down what happened there. I believe Bedard gave over a shutdown to the Udyr of all things. Unfortunately, Kali wasn't able to pick it up. I think did pick up a kill on that one, so a little bit of gold injection there. That's what they have to bank on from the side of Children of the Void. Make sure Kali gets to that 3 items, and then once the bounce, the ricochets start happening in these team fights, Kali's going to be able to provide tons of damage that their team needs. And she'll be able to just get that AoE team fight damage. Won't be able to cut down tanks as fast as Bedard, he just has such a huge lead. Oh, wait, look at this build. Wow, this is an aggressive build. Bedard trying to take over the game now.
Serpent's Fang was completed prior to that last team fight, so you can see why he was being so aggressive there. And of course, having the Nami to back him up, you can see them on the minimap all the time. They're very rarely separated here, and this is a really interesting synergy. Because when it comes to the chemistry of the team, this is what you want to see. That Nami is tied to the Lucian and will not let go. But Bedard spots a foe. Ultimate goes over the wall, and Blast going to safety for the Yone. You can see every opportunity he's got to find somebody. He's trying to get that pick.
Bedard is certainly a person who has enough damage to kill anyone. I mean, that full culling almost killed their most tanky member, Lamb. Gafon barely survived off the back of Turtle Stones. Oh, they're going for engage. Ornn ultimate on 2.
Ornn casts
3.
the horn, but gives up Shelly. Gonna trade over. Oh, there's Bedard. There's the culling. Jetsung on a cooldown for the 4th time in the game. Lucian gets the pick. The support is off the board. It's 5v4 for the right to claim Shelly, and it looks like for sure that's going to go over is a Lobster option.
Just making Swiss cheese out of that support. The squishiest member on the side of Void. And yeah, once Bedard has Lulu in his sights, it's just game over. Gonna have to have better team positioning from Void if they want to weather the Bedard storm. Just the hail of bullets coming through right now.
7 kills and has looked good since the start here. 3,400. Hey, quick math. It's going to cut down now. 3,200 is that gold lead, I believe. Nope. It's so scuffed. But we'll go with it anyway. It may as well be. But look at the vision across the board right now. They're setting up for that Baron play. But before that, Maokai, he's been here before. He might be reaping no rewards of being over there. He gets picked off. With the Baron on the map right now, a minute 40 on that next dragon. It's a good pick off to get the Maokai, but it doesn't look like they'll get anything else other than that. But the pings are actually going down to assist in that Baron, so we'll see if that's going to be a good decision for them. But again, the ward coverage is sublime.
Looking for a kill.
The Lobster option. Kali in trouble here. Jisung on the hunt, going to be prob, but Galeforce goes ahead right there. Relentless assault back forward again. Double kill for Bedard. The crying bee comes out. Shinigami dodges it as well. He reads it. The appeal from the Nami is Gory Bubble. He's going to land straight into the hands of Choppy. Culling goes out. Relentless assault again. And a relentless issue is on hand because Bedard secured the 10th kill of his game.
Bedard is on fire right now, and Choppy is in tow. Look at these two. They're just carrying their team to victory. The KP on Bedard is almost 100%, so he's doing a lot of work right now, and they're working on this Baron. Osiris, you need to get the hell out of town here. Bedard's looking for another kill.
You can see him on that ward as well. Here comes the GOAT to assist. It doesn't land. Bubble lands, of course it does. Even though the explosive kata, there's no delay. There's no thinking about it. He just does it. Another kill over the AD carry of the Lobster option, and they secure the Baron.
All right, Bedard. This man is just completely controlling the Rift. with his sidekick of Forceland. Can we not forget about the supports who carry us through these moments? I mean, these bubbles, technically, is landing. They're just completely nullifying the escape options. Oh, this is a nice dragon steal, but it ain't gonna work. They're here.
Archive will delay 3,000 on that dragon right now. Wave's gonna go through, and oh, that's a huge ultimate come through from Leone. He's stuck in the pit by himself. Goes across the wall, gets the lead. Goppy, 1v3 right now. The rest of the team coming to aid the mid laner. Stasis has to be activated from him. Callie running away on the hunt, not hunting anything as he leaves his jungler to the slaughter. They get the soul point, but they have the ability to end the game right now.
Oh, Cyrus doesn't have flash. Otherwise, he could go for that kill. I don't understand why he's sad right now, because he's certainly winning this game. Oh, Osiris.
It's Michael. It's just so good. It's a Bedard show, and we got front row tickets.
Oh no, just throwing the jukes right at Osiris. Look, he certainly got that sumo build, but he was flat-footed as the guard just made him look foolish. Kali trying to do her best to clear, but Sivir ain't gonna cut it. Or Ultimate coming through again.
Used as alone and show itself. The Cullen right there. Soul Unbound gets dragged back. Wingborn Storm activated from the Udyr to try and get them off that Madolche, taking a lot of damage there. Then cast Immortal Steel knocks up the Orm, but they get what they came for. They secure that inhibitor in the mid lane.
Man, this is a show. The guard showing everyone why this man should have Lucian banned right now. 12, 2, and 5. Making it look easy as well. And I have to say, this game's looking pretty over. The red luck is not coming through, Lamb. It's not coming through.
Well, what can I say? You know, for our colorblind friends, it doesn't really matter what the red or blue. It's whoever plays good in the day. Bedard, that's the name we're going to remember. Certainly going forward in these best of ones, this guy has stood out. Kind of taking over the mid game, really. He was so comfortable in that 2v2, and really, you already called it, that Lulu would be basically the pinata that would get knocked around every now and then. And I mean, 5 times out of 5 that's happened for Jusung. Very rarely has that wild growth actually gone off in time to save anyone from this onslaught. Look at him, Bedard just walking up, doesn't care. There's no respect being warranted over. He's juking everything and walks away from the Everfrost as well. Okay. Evjon, CC immune, walks away. That's a wild growth gone as well, but they're still sieging in that top lane. They don't have Baron anymore, but I mean, the push is still unforgiving at this rate. Bedard, calling goes wayward. Oh, he gets caught with explosive cast and polymorph. But they'll trade over AD carry for AD carry, but that's still a win for the Lobster option, even though their superstar falls.
Yeah, he felt getting a little too comfortable here on the Rift Lamb, and decided to slack a little bit on the defense.
This guy just goes where he pleases.
Unfortunately, he's not Mundo, so it doesn't work out all the time for Madolche. Does go with the Radiant Virtue option. I think that's a lot better. Does not pair well with the first strike, though. So I think he was aiming for Lissandre's, but decided to take a little bit more supported routes, especially since Bedard doing so good in this game. And yeah, they don't have any options for this Lucian. They need to hit him with CC, but he keeps dodging all their CC.
I think there'll be a discussion about the script. I'm just kidding. He's been caught out a few times. He's having fun out there, and he's so far ahead now. I mean, 4 items on the Lucian compared to Sivir, who has not fared well in this game. Very unfortunate for Kali, only the 2 items. But remember, once Sivir gets to that 3rd item, technically she is a good champion again. So we'll see if that Infinity Edge will be achieved anytime shortly. I mean, pretty much the pressure right now is to try and end the game as quick as you can here, Crims, right? The Yone, the Sivir, they're still scaling technically. They're so far behind, but there's still that threat that if they catch out that Lucian, because all the eggs are in his basket right now, even though the Ryze is opting to do pretty well in this game, then there's a chance that you can turn the team fight.
Yeah, it is mostly on the back of Bedard. He's probably like 70% of the team's damage right now, so if they do get him in a team fight, it is going to significantly improve their chances to win this game. I don't think Bedard's going to throw it, but I mean, if he does a similar play like topside again, that will be one of the ways they lose this game. I mean, look how aggressive he's playing all by himself. He's just up in front, tanks behind.
He's
He
feeling it.
doesn't care. Yeah, definitely feeling it. He's feeling high right now on life. 15 seconds away from this dragon, and it looks like Void are nowhere near.
Oh, they get them in the choke here. Gefion's just going to be slung. Picks to the slaughter right now. As they opt to take over, Bedard goes on the front line. That's a huge fate sealed right there. Cali ricocheting. Get some damage coming through. Wild Growth not enough to keep the Sivir alive, but does collect the double kill on the Mark guy. Bubble misses for the first time in this game as Osiris runs to cover. That dragon going to be available, but they're maybe just a little bit too low to try and end the game here. And again, Bedard actually jumped into the front line and got blown up here, Krim.
Yeah. I mean, look, the work was already done, Lamb. Sacrificed itself for the team. Not something often you see from an AD carry player. They usually do the KDA game. But Bedard, that is not the case. Got the damage in for the team, and they handled the rest. Although, for a split second, you thought Shinigami Kali could carry the game, but it didn't happen. The team's damage was enough to kill off the remaining members. And it's looking like there's 2 straight beelines for Baron right now. I think we might see another team fight.
Well, it always looks good once that Fate Sealed lands on multiple, but what's the big catalyst for that? You need the damage to follow up, and it certainly blew up Bedard, but then Choppy was throwing out those spell fluxes, just hitting everybody on repeat with those. Madolche offers so much utility in locking them down to actually secure it here, and Pancakes, man, ended unsung hero. Every good superhero needs a good sidekick, as you always tell me, Crims, and he's certainly proven that with Bedard.
Yeah, they're setting up control on this jungle here, and they could be able to secure the
Bedard again! It's just, he was there and now he's not. Call of the Forge goes wayward as Gephon running away as Nature's Gas comes out as well. They're just cleaning up that area of the jungle to make sure that this Baron is not going to be contested.
It's going to be hard. There's not many good face-checking members for the side of Void right here, and those saplings are going to put a number on them as they walk in. This is a free, absolutely free, 100% off Baron right here. And now they can use this one. Hopefully Bedard doesn't throw away this Baron, and they can win the game.
Well, they did stop the soul being achieved here, and that's still something that is going to be in the mind, even though this goal lead is 11,000 right now. 11,000 just under 30 minutes into the game. Very convincing game so far from the Lobster option, but they have to keep that up. Again, I go back to it. They have to close out this game, Crims, and we know how much people can get carried away with a lead that they forget to actually win the game.
I don't think it's gonna happen this time, Lamb. I mean, this one's pretty.
I'm being optimistic.
This is a shut case here. Bedard doing great. Bedard full build. Want to keep that in mind as well. Lamb Bedard is full build. Meanwhile, not even third item for Kali here, and they have the Baron. That is pretty much a death sentence. Just like that death sentence.
Oh my God! Their health bars are just dwindling.
That's
that
two
was
health
just
bars and
Cullen.
one ultimate. Yeah,
Just
two
the
health
Cullen.
bars and one ultimate there. All right, the lanes are not synced, but this 3-man right here, Madolche, Bedard, and Pancakes, man, is fearsome enough for the rest of Void to back up here. The turrets, these are the only things left standing, and they're not going to hold much longer as they fall to ruin. Choppy destroying that next turret, and I'm sure Blazikiss will get the next one to follow. Meanwhile, Void, they should go with Bedard right now.
Oh, lands the Fate Sealed on Bedard! What a trade from Shinigami! Yori goes huge, and now they might have a chance! They pull Choppy into the turret as well. He pops this and stay alive. Devon, Whitmore Storm did a lot of damage, and there ricochets are happening. Shut down over his Sivir. Kali, there's life breathing through the children of the Void. If they put a stop to the onslaught, Pancakes, man, just a matter of time. Gefyon is fighting in the minion wave, but he'll have the damage to take down the Nami. They get the Baron of all members, but the Ornn. What a defense.
Shinigami saw it as soon as I was saying it. This is why you don't push with that 3-man with uncoordinated waves. Gave them an opportunity to go for that kill, and Shinigami took it from Bedard. You know, I may have cursed them a little bit there, Lamb. I said, hopefully Bedard doesn't hit this one away. And, well, it looked like it did happen. That is my fault. My bad, everybody. That one's on me. But, man,
Well,
what a great play, dude. To see that
even
when the
though-
game is about to end.
Even though that fight transpired the way that it did, the gold lead stayed the same. It's still 11,000, and there was shutdowns that went over. That's incredible. But Dragon, 30 seconds on it.
It's in danger. They have an
But
opportunity.
Ornn is really tanky here. He actually has 3 items completed now, and the Jack Show has been upgraded to the Unspoken Parasite, so it's going to be a little bit tanky. Bedard over the wall, flashes away. Oh, he's the focus right now, but he gets Zipper and he gets out. Oh, and he gets a double kill across the Dragon Pit. This man is just insane.
You know, he puts himself in danger, and he gets out every time somehow. Bedard, he makes it look easy on the Lucian. But no, this is master level skill. Choppy. Okay, he
Choppy.
wants the 2v1.
He's getting chopped down very slowly, though, and he'll walk away, but they completely left the Nexus turret. Now Choppy is going to teleport there to put the cherry on the cake. His Lulu just sun coming out, and you know that that's going to be an inviting task to Bedard as they close out the game very nicely. 13,000 gold lead was at the end, but I mean, what a performance from the Lobster option and Bedard in that game as they will take this first best of 1.
Oh, what a show of what 80 carry can do. 80 carry is weak right now. I guess they are, as Bedard has a clean 18-5 and 9 scoreline. I wish I
That's
could
not
just do
bad.
the percentage calculation in my mind of the team's damage, but let's just say probably did more or about equal to all his team's damage combined. Bedard, 100% the carry force team. You know, Lem, I think in the future we're gonna see 3 80 carry bands, maybe even 5 if they can get it against the Lobster option in the future. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it was an okay performance. He could have stepped up a little bit more, right? That 20 kill mark would have
True.
looked a bit better than 18. No, I'm being very hypothetical here. He played insane. I completely agree with my colleague here that this man is definitely going to warrant respect going through the rest of these games here. But to break down this game, we're going to bid you guys farewell for now, and we're going to toss it back over to Slayer and Mike.
Thank you so much, Lon and Crims. Yeah, certainly, you know, I want to say it was a one-sided affair, or, you know, the Bernard show, but at points that game did look like Bernard was playing a little too confident, and then he just decides to go and style on an entire team by diving into the pit by himself as Lucian on 13.1 and kill everybody. So certainly a big showing from the Lobster options, showing that the dominant league has, you know, basically the option to place them into their league pretty soon here. I got to assume if they win one more game here, 2-0, basically locks you in. Well, it does lock you in for a dominant slate. And Bernard certainly was the guy, Mike, that I know you highlighted before we went on here as that one Masters exception. And boy, did he show his mastery on the Rift in game 1.
So, yes, he did. He played extremely well. He capitalized on every mistake that was made in the bot lane to basically pull himself out of lead. Now, he did end up limit testing quite a bit here, pushing the champion to its utmost limits, and then ended up getting punished a few times there, handing over some shutdown gold. But for the most part, he was the rock and foundation of that team's victory. I do want to talk a little bit more from like an ethos standpoint, as opposed to moving beyond the scope of just the single game here. I want to talk about what it means to be a high elo player. So what it means to be like a Master League player or a Grandmaster player or a Challenger player. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are a mechanical genius. It means that you are taking advantage of every single mistake that is given to you. And the lower down you go in the ranks, the more mistakes you see. So an Iron player will make a ton of mistakes, a Silver player, a few mistakes, a Gold player, quite a few mistakes, Platinum player still is making quite a few mistakes. But a Master player is capitalizing upon those mistakes. They aren't necessarily outplaying you in a super clutch situation, in a forced situation like a objective or something like that. They're looking for your missteps in the lane, you taking an extra trade, you being a little bit out of position. And I want to shout out Pancakes, because those bubbles were phenomenal. The bubbles out of neutral from Pancakes set up Bernard to be as fed as he was and to run that game the way that he did. But my advice to you lower ranked players who are maybe going up against higher ranked players and seeing that and maybe getting a little bit of anxiety because you are going up against a higher ranked player, realize that 90% of the reason why they are a higher rank is because they are only capitalizing upon your mistakes. If you play a little bit safer, give them less opportunities, you'll find that they stagnate very, very quickly. So that's one way that you can try to deal with higher ranked players in your games.
Oh, okay. Well, I might have to apply that logic because I am not a high ranked player as well. But we'll have to find out if the next team to face off against Lobster option will be able to apply that to Bernard. Also, I know the our beautiful casters mentioned probably hopefully going to see some sort of extra AD carry bans. I know the nature of these planes, they're not going to obviously have time to review VODs to see how Bernard popped off, but hopefully they'll be able to figure out that the guy is pretty much the focal point of their squad, and certainly should be targeted with a set up with a target ban. But before we go to a break here, obviously Lobster option put themselves in a great spot to secure one of those spots to dominate. But the more interesting topic is this Void squad. 0-1. Now they basically have to win out for a shot. What did you take away from their performance that you want to see them apply or fix going into their next game in just a couple of minutes?
So overall, I think it was pretty solid. Shinigami had actually a pretty good performance on the Yone once he got out of the laning phase. The laning phase was a little bit rough. Maldoji put a lot of pressure on him early game, which set him behind, didn't let him do the things that he wanted to do. But once he got out of the lane phase and was able to do some things, he had some pretty great mechanical plays, some really great flashes. Otherwise, I think Shinigami's pretty great. Osiris on the Gragas played the lane extremely well. Had some good setups. Got a little bit baited there by Bernard, but other than that, pretty good. Jusung, I'm sorry. Getting caught up quite a bit. I think that's mostly nerves than anything else. I think when you're faced up against a master player in your lane, you get a little bit anxious. My advice to Jusung moving into the rest of this night: calm down a little bit, recenter, take some deep breaths. It's going to be okay. Treat it like a normal game. Treat it like a draft pick if you have to. And then Kali was actually, even though the lane was going abysmally for them, Kali was able to find some trades and keep up to the best of Kali's ability. So not too bad overall. I don't think that we're going to be seeing Children of the Void go home. I don't think this is the end of their story tonight. As long as they can clean up just a few things, they have the mechanical ability. They have the wherewithal to make it through. I think that they're going to be doing pretty well, even though they are the lowest seed. They're the 17th seed. We are going to be following Lobster Squad though for the rest of or Lobster Option. I'm very sorry for the rest of the night. So this is not the last we'll be seeing of Bernard and perhaps Lucian Nami in that bot lane. But you will have to stay tuned to figure out how this saga fully unfolds and if anybody can dethrone Lobster Option.
Yeah, so I mean, you set it up perfectly. We're not done with the Lobster option yet. They could be quickly getting out of here before we even know it, before a third game comes around. And if you're curious to see how this Void squad does, make sure to remember that we are running another stream of Pre-Made Down with another lovely crew of producers and casters as well. So if you want to see if Mike's prediction, which by the way, he's been like basically perfect the entire night, holds up and they make their way to the dominate, you can go ahead and check that as well. But if you want to see Bernard likely style on another set of bot laners, stay with us because after the break, we're going to see the Lobster option take on their second squad of the night, looking for dominant exception. Bit of a quick turnaround here. It's because the League of Legends action keeps on rolling. These teams are hungry to get to dominant back on the analyst desk here with Might, the sorcerer supreme of predictions here so far. Started out dominant, calling every single champion that he thought would be picked in our first game with the Lobster option. And well, we'll have a chance to repeat it here as we are following the Lobster option. We have our two 1-0 teams. So I'm going to try to explain a little bit more of this bracket before we get into things. It's a Swiss SSR bracket. So we had our 14 versus our 17 seed, our 15 versus 16, like you expect. And this is where things get a little different. Instead of, going across a normal bracket, Dunlin bracket, the winners are playing each other. So we have our 1-0 and 1-0 teams playing each other. The winner has a spot in Dominant next season. And on our other stream with Risen, we are having another lovely crew run our 0-1 squad. So the loser of that game is out from going to Dominant. Stakes are getting higher. And after this, the two teams that end up 1-1 will be playing each other for that final spot. So, pressure's really heating up, Might, and the dial's starting to get turned up a little bit more with our second game here.
Absolutely, and I'm just gonna break this down for you. If you want to see the best teams in play-ins right now, so the strongest teams, stay on this channel. If you want to see the most high-stakes games, the teams that are potentially going to get eliminated, you're gonna want to go over to Risen 2. So make your decision now. But obviously, me and Slayer here, we've got the best casting team. Lam and Crim's, of course, going to bring you the best show that you've ever seen once we get into it. And I am Chippy, going to shout you out on the production as well. Thank you so much for setting all of the cool overlays and everything that you see, the camera work. So we got a loaded stacked squad here tonight, and I'm so excited to bring these games to y'all.
Yeah, it certainly should be awesome. And also, if you want extra reasons to stay here and you're an LEC fan, stay here for Lam's sake. He's reeling from Fnatic getting blown up by G2. So we do have another challenging team coming up to play against, the Lobster option, or as being coined now, the Bedard show at this point with his Lucian if he missed last game. But the squad that's coming to play them certainly packed a punch in their first game as well.
Yeah, Forfun had a good showing. Submit on the Alawi was the star player. 9-3 on that Alawi, doing a ton of damage. Looks like it was a split push carry from what I can see just based on the match history. Their bot lane was unfortunately the weakest part of Forfun's team, which is where we saw Berdard pop off last game. So the mismatch there is going to be very interesting. It seems like one side of the map is going to be very strong, while the other side is going to be a little bit on the weaker side. I also want to point out that Sugarcoat, which is Forfun's support, is a Nami main, so I automatically am rooting for you and hope you win every single game. Nami over there is looking over you. But that means that Nami is going to be a hotly contested pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see either a Lucian or a Nami ban come out of red side. I don't think that blue side is going to waste a ban on either of those. They want to pick up both of those. They're going to put the onus there onto Forfun to ban one of those two champions out to make sure that that bot lane duo does not happen. But both of these teams can play Nami, so if it does slide through and it doesn't make it into prio pick, red team could pick that up and potentially steal it away. So we got some interesting draft dynamics here just because of the contesting of the Nami. But top lane carries, Submit is going to be the one to watch. Bedard is going to be the one to watch. Mid lane looks pretty even. Jungle, Maldelche had a very spicy game last game, I should say. Some great ganks early on, and then started to make some very questionable decisions as the game progressed. So it's interesting to see how that dynamic is going to play in. Donner we saw on a Sejuani last game, so preferring that engage. And it looks like Mental Cow really favors that Ahri. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that ban coming out on the second wave of bans.
Certainly should be very fun to see two sort of titans of their game ones, clash it out. Even though if they are on opposite sides of Summoner's Rift, they will, of course, be on a crash course towards each other once we get to mid games and team fights. So it's Submit versus Bedard. It is the Lobster option versus Forfun. And I do want to quickly get out of the way because it does mean a lot for a lot of those picks that you heard Mike talking about. We do have the Lobster option on blue side, so I believe they selected blue side, and it's purely because I can't believe we're going to this tiebreaker. They won their game quicker than Forfun won theirs. That's what we have to use to decide. I also believe it's because they're the higher seed, possibly, but I like to pretend it's because they won their game quicker. I believe Forfun's game went in 39 minutes, and I believe these guys on the Lobster option side went for about, I think it ended up at about, it might have been sub 30. There's so many numbers getting thrown at us right now trying to set up for these matches that I'm certainly getting a little confused here. But to get started and break down this match, we're going to bring our two casters back in here as everybody gets settled to start the draft. So I'm going to throw things back over to Lam and Crims. Guys, take away our second draft of the night.
All right,
Thank
I mean, we
you.
got here on time, Lamb.
I was
Look
going to
at
say
this.
thank you. Let me say thank you. I'm already having a bad day.
Hey, I want to get one. I want to get to start a draft once, okay?
Okay, let's
you get to do it
again.
every time.
Roll
Okay,
it back.
okay.
Roll it back. Roll it back.
All right, everyone, and we're back to our draft with Lobster option and for fun. And finally, we are here on time. They wait till the last second, Lamb. You are now color. They ban Lulu and Maokai. What do you think about these two bans?
Well, before I give you my thoughts on those articulate bans, I do want to say for anybody who's concerned about Mike's Nami falling off the wall at the end of
and magically teleported back up somehow.
just before the break, yep, it just gets on back up because Nami is on the ascendancy, because Nami has already been discussed several times, and I got a feeling we might see it again. But seeing Maokai taking off, I understand Maokai has that influence regardless. I mean, the Lucian's going to be taken away, but Nami's still a really good pick here as well. Of course, you can't say that support isn't, because she's one of the best in the business. But getting rid of the Lulu here, understandable. You know, if you're not going to pair it with something that is going to enhance that harass in the lane, you know, like Caitlyn is a good one. The Sivir, not so much. I feel like there's so many more AD carries that are accustomed to these types of supports rather than a Sivir. So that was probably my only takeaway from last game, Crims.
Yeah, they definitely were trying to get that Sivir to work. They're going to start with a support pick here. And that is quite interesting. I did take a peek over at Bedard's champion pool a little bit. It was just a peek, not a full deep dive. Does like to play these early game stomp champions. So what do you think they're going to pair up with this Karma? And what do you think For Fun's going to do here to respond?
I think that's going to be a Karma mid.
Oh, okay. Karma mid call out from Lamb. Nami does get picked. Might having a field day here, as Nami is going to be played again. Now, there is no Lucian, so which combo do you favor here, Lamb?
Jin. I like Jin.
Oh my
with Nami.
God.
I've got all the answers, baby. Keep hitting me with these questions.
All right. Lamb is trying to get me to go back a color, but it's so bad. Yeah, Jin, Nami, oh my
No.
gosh. Okay, they're going to pair with the Sivir. And they already picked Karma on Lobster option, so they can't pick a melee engaged support to kill the Nami here. Interested to see what their option is going to be here. Bedard has a field of the pick with... oh, here we go. The Samira early game dominance champions I was talking about. Samira likes to pair up with more engaged supports, though. So I think this is going to be a little bit of an awkward pick.
The benefit of having Samira, honestly, is the fact that she can take over any team fight if she's left unchecked. But the biggest thing is to repel the actual spell that's going to kill you, right? Because ultimately, if it's a huge CC, like, for example, the Renata's taken away, but the hostile takeover into the Samira, if you time it correctly, it looks really good, and you can pop off. In this case, it is that Nami wave, if it comes to that, or even the bubble that can be neglected. Look, I called it, baby. That's a Karma mid.
Lamb called it. Lamb did call it. I think they had to reveal a little bit early, but the Karma mid pick here, they're putting double supports onto Bedard. He's going to be extra supported this game. Lamb, that might be insane to have two supports here for the Samira. And now they can kill that Nami in the lane.
One word comes to mind, and it's funnel. Funnel, baby. The Bernard show, we already got tickets last game. Maybe we're going to get it this game, but we can't tell you that For Fun come into this one with a different kind of carry here, Crims.
They have the Sivir. So last game we did see Kali. We'll see how For Fun can manage with this one. And they have a Zac pick. This champion is Sleeper. OP. You can build the Demonic. You can go the full AP for the burst damage, or you can build the Radiant Virtue and be an absolute monster frontliner here. The Zac ganks at level 5 are also very strong, and those stretching strikes are insane. That's some of the best CC in the game, and it's completely undodgeable if you do it right. So this Zac pick could be just the engage they need with the support of Sivir Nami here for that damage. So interesting to see Lobster option with the Samira, most of the damage is close range at the moment. We'll see what Choppy can do to help resolve that scenario, as a lot of melees have just been banned out. Udyr, see ya. Don't want to get that Zac countered, and GP and Alawi are gone. I think we know why Alawi was banned.
Yes, Alawi was actually the carry for fun in their last game there over on stream 2.
Ooh, Lissandra's good here, Lamb.
Lissandra it's really good. The lockdown potential that you got. So here's the problem that I already see for the Lobster option now. This could be completely overlooked by the fact that Bedard is just built different. Samira gets in close quarters. What does Lissandra like? Likes you in close quarters to actually hit you with that ultimate. But Jax is going to be run here, Crimson. I know you're a fan. I know you're a fan.
All right, split push activated. They're going to play a 4-1. This Jax can be countered, though, so we'll see what Full Fun are going to do. They have options. I think we need someone to be on the back checking what counters they can play against Jax here. Maybe the Fiora, I don't know. And last option, Choppy. I'm hoping he picks a mage. Wait a minute. What is... Oh, no, not Choppy. Choppy's on Karma. They picked the Belveth in the jungle. Getting confused here. Belveth in the jungle. They're all melee range. This is the lowest range comp I've seen in a very long time, Lamb. They better win early game or it's over.
Oh, hold on, Poppy. Oh, Poppy is locked in as well. So that huge disengage that comes from the keeper's verdict is going to be crucial. Massive, actually. Samira jumps in, Jax jumps in, she procs that, and then goodbye. We won't see you anymore. But Belveth, again, I want to say, haven't really seen Belveth a ton since the changes that have occurred this season. And this champion, of course, has the ability to take over any game, any single game. The resets coming through, that attack speed that is just infinitely scaling. It's just massive. But again, it's all close quarters. And what does For Fun's team composition like? They want the skirmish. They want that Zac in the middle doing insane damage, getting the procs of the Leandries if he goes that way, or the Demonic. The Sivir likes to get peeled back. The Nami's got the ability to help out the Sivir with that one. The Lissandra lockdown potential. It's gonna be explosive, Crims.
Yeah, this Sivir has every opportunity to slice and dice through the comp of Lobster option here. If they can't get into that back line, and let me tell you, that is a tough task already. We have Lissandra, Poppy, and then the Zac in the front. How can you get through that? Samira is going to have a tough time. If they play the skirmishes out, if they have superior positioning, they might be able to get into that back line and get that Sivir, who is the heart of that comp here. But yeah, Bedard, well, let's hope that master level play comes into action, because I think it's actually going to be required to play this game out. This is an insanely tough position. They went with an early game dominant laner, like I was talking about, and they just got punished for it. This whole comp from For Fun is not a fun comp, Lamb. That name is a blatant lie. This is completely ruining all the fun of Bedard here. So that's why I'm emphasizing their early game focus. They need to get those leads, get control of the map, and that's the only way they can find good positionings here. The Poppy's going to be able to knock back opponents who are diving to the Sivir as well. So yeah, For Fun, they have the tools to victory. They have the keys to the castle, Lamb, and it's all going to be on Bedard. Master level player, can he do it? We'll have to see.
Keys to the castle, but it doesn't matter if you got the keys, because you need to be the king of the castle, Crims. You can't just open the door. You have to be the guy that sits in that throne and tells everybody else what to do. But I mean, looking at the team compositions here, For Fun, Poppy, Zac. It kind of confirms where that Zac and Poppy are going to go. Personally, I'd like to see that Poppy go against the Jax, because it is a good matchup for her. Very early on, you can negate a lot that Jax can do, albeit that if you get caught out in the wrong place, it's not going to be very good for you. But the Zac will be roaming around the jungle, so it's not going to be a huge flex. And Lobster options, kind of reaction to that is they've drafted what they presume is comfort here. Now, if we kind of see the way that the Maokai was playing the last game, and I should really say Madolce, we've seen that really interesting play going up to that top lane where just jumped underneath the turret and said, hey team, look at this. Doesn't even matter if I do this another 5 times, we'll still win the game, because Bedard does his thing. But that matchup is going to be super important. I want to get your thoughts on a prediction here. You're already, I believe, 0 for 1 for today, Crims.
Well, I was 0 for 1. Okay, I was trusting on the colors of luck to lead the way. And I will not stray from that path, Lamb. I don't care if I'm 0 for 1. I'm going to go for fun. They're on the red side, They're going to take it this time. The Reds never done me wrong, except for game 1. It's never done me wrong, except for game 1, I believe. Red team going to win this one, Lamb. Are you going to take the blue team? Are you going to go the other way?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm a big fan
right.
of Lobster. Lobster is always nice, but it doesn't matter what we say. We're just going to cast the game. Do you know who it does matter in their opinion? The analyst desk. We're going to hop on over to Slayer and Might as they break down what's about to come in game 2.
Thanks once again, gentlemen. Certainly a very intriguing draft. It puts us in a pretty precarious spot, Mike, because if you want to talk about level of player, like what is the best level player here, I don't think it's a discussion, except it starts with Bedard and it ends with Bedard. So, but the compositions we have in front of us is like our lovely casters highlighted so well, is just completely set up to shut down anything that Bedard wants to do. They're not for fun, Mike. They're for blood, and it's Samiras in this game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just looking like for Fun's draft. In my opinion, it was the perfect draft trap. They set up Bedard to pick an aggro AD carry, something like a Draven or Samira. Bedard took the bait. Bedard knows he likes to play super aggressive, and they said, we're going to clench our jaws around you with the last 3 picks. The Zac, the Lissandra, and the Poppy lock down everything that Bedard wants to do. If Bedard plays super aggro, Lissandra should have the push in the mid lane against the Karma, which means he will have to be living in terror of Lissandra roams into that bot lane. Perfect ganks if Bedard wants to keep up that aggro playstyle that he's been known for in game 1. How do you rein in a Samira? Like, you have to get fed, you have to get ahead in order to be able to just 1v9 the backline. And even if you do, you've got Poppy to deal with. You've got Lissandra ulti to deal with. You've got Zac bouncing around in the backline. And Severe is just going to be able to absolutely pop off, just ricocheting the entire team fight. Another super spicy point of contention in this draft. Maldoche is on a Belveth, which is a secondary carry option, which, in my opinion, is a huge mistake because it offers no utility to the team whatsoever. There's no way to help Samir kind of get out of these binds. It is just secondary carry. And Maldoche in game 1 had some very, very questionable plays, especially when it came to the late game. So I'm concerned that this Belveth might go 0-4 or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, that's a great point to make, because also when you think about it, this composition, we haven't even got to talk about the Jax here, right? So this Jax being wielded by Blaziken, you're going to be playing as a 4-stack majority of the time, at least for mid game and potentially points in late game, because you're talking about a Jax. So even if this Belveth pick works out well, it's still just not as much appeal for Samira. And also, Samira is going to be going forward. So I definitely agree with a lot of the points you're making here. And it certainly helps as well for the side of For Fun that their best player that we talked about from last game is on a counter pick for that Jax with this Poppy as well in the top lane. And she could be a disruptor as well for a Samira. It's all really lining up For Fun. And prediction-wise, that's where you got to be leaning there too, right?
Yeah, I'm leaning to For Fun 100% on this one. There is an avenue for Lobster Squad to get ahead, Lobster option. They just have to get super fed. They have to just say, yeah, we're just better. We can just beat you with our wallets, basically. But that gold lead has to be pretty substantial and insurmountable. That lead has to happen. The engages have to be super dope. It might even involve Pancake Man abandoning the bot lane, as weird as that sounds, and going to help Blaziken or something like that. I don't think that Bedard, even if Bedard gets super fed, the Lissandra just has to press one button and all of that turns off. So they have to have multifaceted threats here. And Maldoche is going to have to, Maldoche is the linchpin of this game. He has to step up. He has to perform extremely well on this Belveth. That is the only out for Lobster option.
I certainly couldn't agree more. And well, we're gonna stay in harmony on this analyst test because I can't go against your logic like it's been flowing so far in this pre-made dominant play in series. So I'll also be going with for fun, and I do have a bit of logic of my own here. I'll play hypotheticals out.
Sure.
Even if you give Bedard, he goes into this lane against this Sivir composition of the bottom lane. Even if he wins.
Yeah.
Let's say he wins. I don't think he's gonna win as hard as he did the last time because that's just crazy how hard he performed on Lucian. He comes out of lane and he's won. The other likely scenarios is that this top lane Poppy is at least ahead or even. I think Lissandra and Zac have the tools to shut down the Samira, and the biggest problem is even if Samira is fed, we're not talking about a Sivir or an Ezreal where their best done damage is playing frontline to backline, staying back and safe. Samira has to go into this comp perfectly designed to counter her. So I just think unless for fun miss target in a weird way, they're going to take this game and punch their ticket to the dominant. Well, they're not into dominant. I always want to say dominant playoffs, but we're far from there. But what we're not far from is getting into this game because it is really well hyped up and these drafts are really, really intriguing. So without further ado, we're heading back over to Crimson Lamb.
Win, and you're in. One and it's done for both of these teams. Shima is under a little bit of pressure. Pancake, okay, Flash Dredgeling doesn't land, but he gets a staggering blow passive.
Shima's dropping quite low.
The heal, he falls down so well. Wow, and Choppy gets the tank as well on the turret. That was very clean for a level 1 dive.
I have to say, Maldoche is never afraid to dive. Am I right, Lamb? This time works out in their favor.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. This guy never hesitates, whether it's... I mean, the whole team was on board with that one. And the Belveth, more importantly, does get the first blood of this game. So accelerating the jungler this early on in the game is definitely going to spell good things for Maldoche in this one.
Yeah, that is the blessing and the curse of the people willing to dive there. Maldoche is taking a blessing right now. 1-0. Got a longsword to start with. I think important though, Shima still has flash.
Oh, Hex Flash from Pancakes, man. Well dodged over from Bedard. He cleanses the exhaust. His Sugarcoat down to about 25% health, but got those pots ticking. And it has biscuits in the inventory as well for the Nami as they trade back. Pretty good. Bedard down to half health, but they're only level 1, pretty close to level 2. But you can see what they're trying to do here. They're not making it comfortable for the AD carry of Lobster.
Yeah, Lobster, I think they did win out on that trade. They burned a very important flash and exhaust, though, Lamb. So Sugarcoat, I ain't gonna sugarcoat this. Sugarcoat's in trouble, especially when level 3 hits around as well, and this wave bounces back. Downer is the only way that they can get out of this lane unscathed. That Zac needs to make a play down there, but he's pathing away, Lamb. Look at this, going towards the top side bull jungler, so they're gonna have to hold out for quite some time without dying and giving Bedard a huge bag of gold as we have submit here, trying to hold this wave. And yeah, they have to somehow hold for an entire clear. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it, Lamb.
Oh, this looks really inviting for Blazerscus. Oh, yeah, it is. So he gets pushed back, but he's still under the turret. They trade evenly in that top lane. Wow, this game full of fireworks already, Crim.
No fear on the side of the Lobster option. I guess, do Lobsters feel fear, Lamb? I don't know. Looks like they don't. 2 dives in a row, and it works out. That's going to force the TP from submit, and that means Blazekiss can keep his. Oh, he's just going to go for it early. More pressure in the lane. Definitely does not want to die in a gank, though. So if Blazekiss can pull this off here, he's behind in CS, so Donner can make a very significant play topside. Wave's pushing in, Shima. They're using the power of the wave to avoid the fight here, Lamb. They have the bounce. It's going unpunished as well. And look at the top laners and look at these jungler positions. Something is about to happen.
Something brewing, maybe. Choppy on this Karma finds himself on a little bit change of responsibility in this game. Utility the Karma offers, as well as some damage that goes along with that, but I do want to take your eyes to the inventory of both of the top laners. They got the backs the same time they died together. They picked up the same item, and then they used their teleport at the exact same time. They're both on the same page. We'll see what the skill gap is going to be like as this elastic slingshot comes over from Danar. Goes back with a stretching strikes on a choppy. Mental cow flash forward with a ring frost. Maldoche is here. Above and beyond misses, but still wants a little bit more. Danar still has the cell division passive available. We'll see if that gets procced. I believe Zach still walked it out. It's Submit. Gets one over on Blazikiss. The star in the last game is taken over in that top lane.
Submit just punched a ticket to victory right there, holding down the Jax. Blazikiss has died yet again, and this time, look, no TP to catch that wave lamb. He got burned for using it way too early, and now he's going to be on a huge CS and EXP deficit. Submit already a level up. That's going to get worse. Mental Cow is in the mid lane, gonna have to take a back here. Oh, Pancakes, man, he's looking for the hook.
Oh, good spell shield coming through from Shima right there to negate that engage from the Pancakes, man. But that wave is underneath the turret, so they will concede any pressure that they were kind of going for there. But keeping our eyes on Danar, didn't actually proc the cell division passive in that mid lane. So Zach is certainly going to feel good about that. Very calculated gank on a choppy. And you don't want to get caught out too much as a Zach. Remember that this champion is very overpowered right now. I actually went for the CDR reduction on the boots first item, which is traditionally the way that the Maokai goes as well here, Krim.
Yeah, the Maokai also wants that CDR. It's so strong on these tank champions here. All right, bit of an early game play. That's a double knockup, double stretching strikes.
That's a 2-for-1 if they can land the Aqua Prison. Yes, they do. Pancakes, man. Oh, he gets taken down by the Zac. Over goes Mental Cow. Collapsing as Bedard gets out of there. Has to use both summoners, though. Boomerang Blade doesn't tag him up. His Choppy has no flash. The bubble lands again. The Nami plays are out of this world today.
Yeah, that's a slam dunk play from Donner. Makes a play happen bot side, and it was a good one, 2-0 pickup. And they have an option to get this dragon. They don't have to go for it. They can safely farm the wave. And Bedard, I mean, he hasn't fallen, but his team around him is crumbling.
Well, Submit one on the Blazikiss, and Madolche is here in shadow of a Mental Cow. The rotations are so good from this Lissandra, just reading everything that's happening across the rift. But the one thing that doesn't need to be read is that Dragon Take. Going to be very free here. The Submit cancels his back in that top lane.
Dolce is on the top side. They're just poking him out, trying to get him out of lane so they can get this wave in, and they're eventually going to succeed. Submit looking mighty strong on the top side. Donner going for this play, though.
Pulls back Donner. Actually gets a little bit of heal going there, but Cell Division. He's getting chunked down a little bit. Over goes Bedard, cleans the kill. Okay, fully stacked Conqueror as well. Bedard, it's happening again. He can't keep getting away with this as he picks up a double in that bot lane.
Oh, they just give it up 0-3. They were doing so good, Lamb. And we surely thought, oh, finally, Bedard has met his match. The anti-fun Bedard comp is activated, but no, the bot lane is still not their strong point here. They need to play as a team against the Samira. That is their strength so far. They just gave Bedard a shot at carrying this game, and you know what, Lamb, that might have been the biggest mistake Forfun has made yet.
Oh wow, they just gave Bedard his mythic 8 minutes into the game, 4 minutes better than the previous. Field goal gonna be completed to see Blazikiss trading heavily with Submit all the time, but that lane state, it always looks very favorable for the Poppy.
Yeah, look at the CS difference. That's going to stay that way for a very long time. And just the way that Poppy can deny Jax's abilities is going to be a key factor here, especially in these team fights. I mean, that's where the real power of Poppy comes, Lamb. It's not even the laning phase, and already Submit is definitely taking over. So we'll see if this can lend into shutting down Bedard, because that's what I'm looking at the comp. That's what we set out here on the desk to let everyone know. This is an anti-Bedard comp on the Samira here. Submit finding a bit of unwanted jungler attention.
Well, Dolce has just been really annoying. He won't get anything up there, but he makes Poppy understand that that wave is now not going to be frozen there any longer, albeit that it does favor Jax a little bit up there. So coming to the aid of the top laner there, good communication to make that happen. And Dredgeline goes through it, Bedard again, Inferno Trigger, but Jax going to join the party here, not enough. Keep Sivir alive. Pancakes man getting the staggering blows.
Here.
Inferno Trigger still popping while Rush under the turret. Bedard, can he get it? No, he doesn't. Shut down over here the Nami. Not the person you want, but it's going to happen anyway. Pancakes man gets pulled back. Mental Cow is here, but the Nautilus will get the Dredgeline to safety.
Oh, okay. Wow. Did they get it? So they did get the Rift Submit. Almost saved that right there. Wait, this might be at the cost of life?
Trouble here. Yeah, he's under the turret. That's not going to stop Blaziken though. As he puts the Poppy in the dirt.
Yeah, we know he'll go for that dive anytime. Does it yet again. Meanwhile, bot side, I have to say Bedard played as best as he darn could there. Giving the shutdown to Nami makes a whole lot more sense than giving it over to Lysandra, who is right in the left flank there waiting. And now with that bot play bottom side, they can go for a huge boost to Blaziken. Here, they're going to give him a bunch of plates as well after picking up the kill. They're staying a bit longer than I would think. Submit here has a whole lot of things to contend with.
Definitely making it known that the Poppy doesn't want this turret going down this early. 10, almost 11 minutes into the game. And we've got 13 kills in this game already. Crim Shima tanks the turret. Well, Pancakes man doesn't want to follow that up. Interesting. His ultimate was just about to be up and he had Ignite. That's a potential for a solo kill there.
Yeah, solo polo from the support with the turret's help, of course, turret assist. Pancakes man, though, has the bot side's number. So far has landed very good hooks against Sugarcoat and Shima. So again, Pancakes man showing what supports can do as that sidekick.
Sidekick with a lot of kick. You see 45 seconds on that next Dragon. Dragon was certainly the focus in the later stages of the previous game for the Lobster option, but for fun, certainly have the number in that bot side of the, I was going to say the bot lane, but that's completely wrong because of course it's Bedard against the world as always. Shima is actually faring a little bit well in this one. I mean the CS is pretty controversial in that bot side, but that's twice now we've seen a Sivir really lack the presence in that lane, Crimps, to actually keep up with the opposing AD carry. And I want to say the opposing AD carry being Bedard. You can certainly see the skill discrepancy between both of the AD carries this early on in the game.
It really is due to those early lane phase decisions that they made bot side. Pancakes landing excellent level 1 hook. And once you get that, that's just so much pressure to get that CS. Oh, Madolce.
Oh, Madolce in trouble here. He's delaying a lot, and that actually gets blocked by the Samira. Bedard stops the tidal wave coming through, and now he might be looking for more. Good flash. Gets out of the elastic slingshot. Is Danar trying to get something back and get the ultimate off. No, he can't. The ultimate is going to be propped. Shima across wall, throwing boomerangs across there. Mental Cow left. 4v1. Oh no, the Zac will fall as well as Bedard. Again, we keep saying his name here, Grims, but he's taking over.
I mean, you know, I'm actually going to toss this one over to Pancakes, man. I think he's the one carrying this bot lane right now. Bedard's just following up. I have to say, Choppy did a good job getting to the play before Mental Cow. That was a huge boost to that skirmish, and that's how they win this slam. That's basically the only way that Lobster Squad does take this one. I mean, they're officially the Lobster Squad now. That's just going to be their new unofficial name. That's the only way they win this is through the skirmish scenarios where they don't have the full team comps present, and as you can see, Bedard and Pancakes Man are fully empowered to make those plays and take over the game. I'm giving the, you know what, Nautilus, Pancakes Man, you're not the sidekick in this one. Right now, you are the main superhero for your team. You're not supplying the damage, but you're supplying all the CC they need to win.
He definitely knows how to pilot the Nautilus. Very successful thus far in these, I want to say, smaller skirmishes. It's really went in the favor of the Lobster option, and the only option is to win this game. Remember, folks, if they win, they're in, and it's as simple as that. Same goes for Fun here. So we'll see how this can transition. Is that goalie just over? Well, yeah, it's just been achieved. 3,000 on the money. Doesn't get much easier than that to calculate. His Blazikus again is going head-to-head with Submit. And Submit was that star for Fun. So we'll see if he can really shine here. As that Poppy looks to be under a little bit of pressure here. Still has that Keeper's Verdict available. Steadfast Presence comes out. Heroic Charge doesn't knock up. Blazikus by using Keeper Verdict right there. Oh, he actually gets a kill. 1v2. And now the squad are helping him out here as Madolce eats a bubble. Double kill for Submit in the top lane.
All right. Unfortunate that Shima doesn't get the kills, but they take their bot lane and swap it topside. They do lose the mid pressure, but Mental Cow is able to fend off and survive with this turret here. And that gave them the opportunity perfectly to get this top turret first. If they get this, oh, they're not going for the first turret of the game. Interesting. I guess Bedard left lane and they are going to scatter away. Again, the Bedard pressure is insane here. I thought they were going to get first turret. I think they could have went for it.
Well, from us and the analyst desk, we basically came to the conclusion or hypothesis that this team drafted, these champions drafted on the side of For Fun can deal with this Bernard onslaught. Bernard, we're just making it up as we go along here. Crim's not even reading the names at this point. But he's that much of a threat that you have to keep him quiet. Now, the silence in that mid lane is something that's almost deafening because the Karma's going kind of untouched here. As we see this incredible duel between Choppy and Submit as the Poppy will close out on that one. The CDR is just insane on the Karma. Just to pump out those inspired mantras, everything to try and trade over with Submit. But I do believe that Submit is... No, he actually sold, bought some of his items last time that he got something in that top lane, that double kill, remember?
Oh, wait, they're playing for a dive?
So
Wait for a dive on Submit.
I mean, knowing Madolce, he will definitely go for this. But he's alone. Yeah, he gets taken away. So Submit should just walk this one out here. Yep. Now they're trading over objectives.
Okay, they don't get first turret, but For Fun picks it up here. Choppy was aiming for it. They were gunning, and they didn't quite get it. Now they're going to use that to lead right into a Rift Pair. Madolce is going to be late to the play. Mental Cow is going to have to follow behind, but that's okay. They have Bedard in sights. And now they're playing another. The 5v5s here. Choppy is late.
Teleport came in, but they are 5 strong, and base checking into this team composition is not something you want to do. They can't actually see eyes on the Herald here. That good control ward down there, which means that Shelly will successfully go over to the side of For Fun, and they will look to defend that mid lane push.
Yeah, they're gonna not... Oh, engage straight away.
And Glacial Path going to be used by Mental Cow. Look at the teleport coming in from behind. That's going to be Blazikus joining here. The Jack to get the lead strike out. Counter strike to lock them up there. Submit actually uses Heroic Charge on that last dying minion to get out of trouble there. They're positioning very aggressively, but they don't get anything, either team, for that little skirmish there in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's exactly the type of play you want to see from the side of For Fun. If you don't lose anything and you're continually free scaling on the Sivir, Shima's going to be very happy, and everyone's going to be able to scale into this game here. But did you see Pancake Man's just hook Zac midair? That is some this is an excellent Nautilus here.
He's got the number. He's got the bullseye, and every time he goes into a fight, he seems to make it work, and can only spell good things for the Lobster option in this game. Certainly, they looked pretty good in that bot lane before, but now they're trying to keep that going here, Crims.
They're trying to set up a little trap there, but 4 members walk right into the river, and you turn tail. Wait, Submit, this is a bit of a mistake.
Oh, no hesitation from the Pancakes. Man, Keeper's Verdict goes off.
Oh, wait, Bedard.
He goes in with Infernal Trigger. He's pulling the trigger. He's taking names and numbers. And oh, Shima coming in. Spell kill goes out, and that Drake lane will go across, but Jackson's joining the party. Double kill for Blazikus, and that dragon belongs to the Lobster option.
Submit, what happened? Your team left you were all alone. Pancakes Man, he saw the hook and he landed it straight onto the Poppy, and that was all they needed. And then, For Fun, instead of fighting as a 5v5, they streamed in, Lamb. They streamed in, and Bedard was allowed to survive, plus the Karma shielding from Choppy. Doesn't even have a Moonstone yet. I don't even know what he's building. goes for the Putrefier first. Bedard, given the opportunity to carry that skirmish / team fight, they need to play correctly for fun if they want to win, and they definitely can't do that again.
They can't even stall it enough for the Sivir to actually take effect in these team fights, which is very unfortunate because already the crit item is being started. That Zeal in inventory for Shima, not really getting off to the races in these team fights, and the team's not delaying it enough. But the most important thing is that the Lobster option, they're getting the picks that they need to try and take these objectives without contest, and they're making it happen time and time again.
Yeah, it's for fun. It's just not respecting their skirmish power and this Nautilus's ability to lock down opponents for the picks. As soon as that anchor toss lands right on you, there is definitely enough damage, enough gas in the tank for the darts to take out those opponents. So now they're on the back foot. For fun, we're in a decent position. And look at this. 5k gold lead has crept in, and look at these bounties. I think we knew exactly where the bounties were going to be here, Lamb. Bot side, 200 and a 400 on Pancakes, man.
Well, speaking of Pancakes, man, so not only did they need to try and work their way through the Karma shielding, that Locket of Iron Solari is going to be completed for Nautilus as well. So even more shielding to try and get through for the Sivir. And really, you need to get to a point where it's 3-4 items before you're actually knocking down this team, unless you can actually get onto Bedard. But if you get onto Bedard and you waste everything on him, you got a Jax and a Madolche to contend with in these team fights as well.
A lot of attack, speed, prowess champions here. And Submit, not building a Frozen Heart. Interesting to see. I think that would have been an excellent second item here. Toffee on the wings, trying to make it hard to get this turret. Gonna bait in 2 red team members here, and the fight has begun off that.
Well, ultimate already used from Submit to actually send Bedard away, but it's preemptive. It's not for any additional success there, so big ultimate already down. Flash is still down onto the Samira, but that cleanse is going to be also important if Mental Cow can get across to the AD carry, who has been playing phenomenal, 4-1 and 7. But I mean, he's been playing phenomenal, but you've mentioned him several times before. The Pancakes, man, 4-1 and 6. What a higher bounty than the Samira. It's bound. Going to be started off.
Here we go. Gutsy move. Submit, force the first TP, but that's a good TP. It's right on their flank. This could be absolutely disastrous if they pull it off.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
Way.
Pancakes, man, leading the charge. Madanor is just being cut off from the rest of his team. No stealth division. Oh, Bedard goes forward. This is the Samira gameplay that we came for. But Nautilus actually gets the kill. Great bubble. Disengaged from Sugarcoat as Madolche goes ahead with the above and beyond. It doesn't get anything, but they get 2, and they're heading straight for that Baron again.
Submit, where was the poppy flank? You had their backs exposed to you, and you go around the side, and his team gets bait into a fight down or all alone. He needed his tank buddy, and Submit wasn't there to support him, and the team fight goes completely sour after that, and they lose it. Completely, not even taking a single member. Yeah, Madolche has the smites unlocked for that one. I just don't. It looks like For Fun can't get the coordination together here, Lamb. Completely bamboozled, and every time they mess up, getting back in this game gets harder and harder, and Bedard gets stronger and stronger. Not to mention every other member just getting the teamwork boost as well. So, For Fun, you had the comp, but you're not playing it.
Oh, who needs a tank these days when you got a draft like this for the Lobster option? Just run full speed ahead and kill everyone. That's how you win the game. That's how they're playing the game. Dragon, 30 seconds away.
30 seconds on this Dragon. It does look like For Fun have the first position. Jax on top side doing that split push. Finally being activated here. Feels strong enough to go for it. Has 2 items, has a Divine Sunder. They're successfully zoning out right now the Lobster option. But they just gave up midway. They have to go back for it. Submit, don't get hooked a second time. It looks like they're just going to have to give it up. There's just not enough pressure, and the Baron is going to force them to retreat to the turrets.
Shima is doing a good job of fending off Blazer Kiss with that Baron, and certainly helping with that, but Lysandra and Nami walking up there right now. This dragon for sure will go over again. That soul point achieved, but they're looking to get the pick and stop the split pushes on the hunt. Going to be popped by Shima. Running it down, Blaze going to accept the invitation, but he didn't see Mental Cow over there, and he didn't see that Nami bubble. His shutdown goal goes over to the AD carry of For Fun.
They give up the mid lane. I think they're going to lose this turret here. It is dropping. They do pick it up. Blazikiss has TP. If a fight breaks out in over 30 seconds, he's going to be able to join. That's another long distance hook.
Wow, Pancakes, man. As soon as that is proc, he just guesses right every time. Dano
Shima's not here. This is a free turret if they can stay and get it.
Karma is actually opting to go to the side here. They might not need the Karma. Right now it's a 4v4, but 4v4, which means Submit actually going to go to the back line, flashes back out. Here comes across Infernal Trigger, just milling them all. Takes over again, the Master at Arms. Might be Jax's ultimate, but it's certainly Bedard with that mastery as they're onto those Nexus turrets.
Completely wiped clean by Bedard. He just saw that opportunity and went in there. Absolutely eviscerated For Fun. And you know what? I don't know if they had fun in that game, Lamb. That looked absolutely dreadful, but they had the comp to do it. Bedard, he somehow makes it happen. You know what? I know what happened. Pancakes, man, absolutely took control of that bot lane and gave Bedard the opportunity. We're giving supports their due today, Lamb.
Put your AD carry on a platform and they will excel, and the Pancakes, man, certainly did that with Bedard, which means that the Lobster option, I believe, unless I'm wrong, they have now secured their place as a regular on Sunday afternoons, I believe, for many people. So that's very exciting to see them going forward, because Crims, they showed immaculate perception on their win conditions, which for the most part is Bedard, but can't take away the performance from Madolche, just fearless in the jungle.
Yeah, Madolche had that first dive right onto the Sivir. Shima was forced to pop heal early and was able to pick up the kill. Gonna give some credit there, and was able to dive on the sidelines as well. So Madolche, this is a lot better showing. I think the team overall, they got a little bit better on that coordination. They're playing together. Blazikiss had some dives as well. And Choppy, I mean, look, wasn't fancy, didn't do anything crazy, but did the job that Karma's supposed to do, keep teammates alive and speed boost them into battle. So everyone coming together from the side of the Lobster option. Despite the draft diff, they pulled through.
Get the job done, and that's exactly what they have done. But to break it all down and to give you guys the definitive answers that you deserve, we're going to pass it on over to the Risen Esports Analyst Desk. Slayer and Mike, take it away.
Thank you so much, Lam, once again. Wow. I think we kicked this thing off with a Bedard apology. Sorry. My bad, man. Won't ever slander you again if an entire team drafts against you dominant. Which, in saying so, I do want to congratulate them. There is a lot of confusing stuff when it comes to these play-ins, and there's how they fit in for what actually constitutes as you're completely out of dominate versus you're completely through. But I can confirm that TLO are the only 2-0 team out of all 4 of the teams we have slated. So congratulations to Bedard and their squad. They will 100%, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and say I'm wrong later on. We will have one more match tonight. But they look like they deserve to go through, and statistics in my mind say they do.
Absolutely, yeah. No, they completely earned it. They had all the chips stacked against them in that last game, and they pulled out the victory basically through Bedard just popping off. I think the really crucial play of that last game was when they went for the Zac dive into the bot lane. Zac gets caught up underneath the tower, does not land the elastic slingshot, and from there, Bedard gets the triple kill. If that had not happened, Bedard would not have been able to get the triple kill, and I believe we would have played a much slower paced game, which would have allowed teams to be on item parity, and then the comps could have done what they were supposed to do. But that completely just warped the format of the game. I believe Lon was saying 8 minutes mythic item for Bedard spells disaster indeed, and he just took the lead, completely ran with it, was able to absolutely melt the enemy squad there. For Fun did not have a fun time. They got absolutely destroyed. It was the Bedard show. And for those of you teams who are watching these play-ins to try and scout a little bit of the atmosphere for what's coming in the regular season, Bedard's one of those players that you are going to have to respect, and you're going to know that he's going to be coming at you with very aggressive AD carry picks.
Certainly will be. I'm actually curious if he is contractually obligated to play 80 carries with range under the normal threshold for 80 carries, because he picked Lucian and Samira. What's next? I'll call it. He's playing Nyla game 3. I mean, if we're going purely off range base, that's exactly the champions that Bedard will be following. But certainly congratulations to them. I do have a bit of an update on the rest of our bracket, and I do actually want to take this time closing out what was a very big game number 2 win for the Lobster option to talk about what we're going to see in our game 3. But before we do that, what are your takeaways from the 4 Fun squad? Because we certainly all were behind them to win this game. They lose, and now they are very much so in a do or die match in just a bit.
So I think they put a little bit too much confidence in their picks, and they didn't play a normal game of League, if that makes any sense whatsoever. They were like, we have an advantage, let's push the advantage, when they weren't supposed to push the advantage. So there was one river fight where I saw Lysandra just come running down. Fight was basically already decided, already over. I believe there were already 1 member down. And Lysandra just kind of like continues to wade into 4 members just to land the ult on Bedard. Because that's the plan. The plan is land the ult on Bedard. It is not the plan to 1v5 and land the ult on Bedard, right? So if you do the objectives of the plan out of context, the plan is going to fail. You have to make sure that you're still playing a normal game of League, and just know that when the time comes for you to do your thing, you have a huge advantage. So if like we had a normal, even playing field 5v5, they have an advantage. They have all the tools in the toolkit to make sure Samir doesn't pop up. But if you're just gonna run it down and try to like ult her out of nowhere, or you're trying to take an elastic slingshot to land on her like while she's in her tower, then you're overreaching, you're overplaying your hand, and you're gonna get called on it. And that's exactly what Bedard did, and he just was like, okay, you're handing me free kills, you're basically taking your advantages and turning them into advantages for me, because now I don't have to worry about this thing, and I'm getting a kill, and I'm snowballing because now I can dash into your team. Brutal stuff there, but Bedard, showing what a master player does. He takes advantage of your mistakes. Even when you have all the chips stacked against him, if you make mistakes, he will find it, he will exploit you, he just has to sit back and wait for you to make that mistake.
Well, Mike, you didn't do a lot of sitting back on Samir. I actually think you dashed forward quite a bit, but I certainly see the analogy that you are trying to make here. I also want to make sure, because I keep getting slandered in our production chat, I am now wearing red. This one is for Crims. I actually did enjoy a New Year feast last night with one of my friends for the Chinese New Year, so I felt like I had to switch the wardrobe up and sport some red as well. But we do actually have our final matchup of the night kind of set up here, and before I get to that, I do want to point out for all the Might stands like myself, he was right. The Void Squad did win their other game, so that's the team 4 Fun is playing for one of those spots, as Might stays what feels like perfect, except for the fact that you just picked 4 Fun to win. They lost.
I know, right? I need to reevaluate here, recalibrate the machine.
Exactly. Well, we'll have time to, because we have our final match set up, and it actually is going to be a bit of a victory lap / keep a team out scenario. We will be watching the Lobster option play one more time. We're going to see Bedard be playing one more time, but it's going to be playing against the only O2 squad remaining, which is Renge Tea Time. Now, technically, it's a sliver of a window. But Renge Tea Time, they do have the potential to come back and make them 1 and 2 could, with head-to-head, give them a shot at making it through. So we are going to have run through a game 3 here. And I know you haven't looked at much of what Renge Tea Time is as a squad. We haven't seen them today yet, but regardless, they're cut out for a pretty harsh game 3.
It is David and Goliath, and that is no exaggeration. They need to bust out all the stops. They need to play their A game. Honestly, play as reserved as possible, because the way that we've been seeing Bedard get ahead is by capitalizing on mistakes. Just chill out. Just chill. Please don't give him 3 kills in the first 10 minutes of the game.
So you know what? It sounds simple enough, Mike. It does, and so
it's easier said than done.
Easier said than done is a perfect way to put it, Mike. Well, to let my recalibrate his predictor machine, whichever side it is off to. Maybe it's behind Nami. I don't even know, to be honest with you. We're gonna go to one more break here, but on the other side, we're gonna close out our dominant play-in slate, and after that, we'll figure out who's all slotted in for this season, this winter split of Divine 2023. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Haha! You thought it would be Slayer and Might. It's actually Lamb and Crims. We do the old switcheroo, how the turntables. You'll get to see them. Don't worry about it. We're in draft here, Crims, for probably the last time today. Is the Lobster option tee up against Renja Tea Time?
Yeah, Renga Tea Time. You know, I'm not trying. You know, I'm known to roast people. I'm not roasting them here. I believe that they did not win their games today, so it's looking like the Lobster option might be set for a landslide victory here, Lamb. Going to be taking a clean sweep in these pools of the Swiss system here. It's looking like Maokai Nami going to be taken off. I think they were taking some notes from the previous games, as Heimer is also going to be removed here. I'm wondering, Bedard, are we going to see a different look from him on the red side? Is he going to pick something different? Or is it going to be the same old, low-ranged, and very aggressive champion? Samira won't be one of the options, though.
I feel like since Renga Tea Time ban away this Nami, that it means that Lucian is off the board. Not necessarily. And you know, Samira being taken away, I don't think you can ban this guy out with the way that he actually pilots these champions. I feel like he has got multiple things in his arsenal that he can take to the Rift, and we'll see what special he wants to put on for us today in this game 3. But Zach being Howard going to be locked in. We kind of seen glimpses of what Zach can do in the last game, but ultimately just fell a little bit short. But maybe we'll see the Zach maybe go top, maybe in the mid lane. It can be flexed here, right?
Yeah, Zach is flexible, even as support, Lamb, and it's quite strong in my opinion. If you know what you're doing in the bot lane, the Zach support has tons of CC and damage, but I think his best role is the jungle. Wow, Choppy taking an early pick here on the rise. I'm wondering if they're trying to do a little bit of a flexaroo, and they're going to also say, hey, we can play this top side as well, because that is a very early blind pick. Blaziken might have a rise. We don't know.
Well, the one thing that they do have is extreme confidence, and Lobster option did opt to take the red side in this one. So maybe your predictions will be right for once, Crims. They actually go over to the red side. Hey.
Oh, you're you know, I'll get my revenge. It's not going to be today, because today I know exactly what side I'm picking. But
Crims' revenge.
Crims' revenge is
coming to a theater near you. Actually, it's going to affect me more than anybody else, but
it's not going to be in theaters if things go according to plan.
Well, I don't know where we're going with this. Crims' revenge, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Maybe it'll be a promo on Risen.
Look, all I'm saying is if you don't see Lamb anymore on Risen, you know what happened. All right, Cassidy has been picked up here, and he's going to be played right into that rise. It's not going to be happy in lane, but it's going to be happy once the game scales outside. Ezreal, that's a lot of mobility. Look at this mobility here from Renga Tea Time, Lamb. They're going to be jumping. They're going to be dashing all over the map. They're going to be teleporting. They're going to be blinking. This is a lot of mobility.
Well, I know your thoughts on Kassadin. You know, it's one of those champions that's, again, achieved that spot highlight in that mid lane again with the reintroduction of Roddy Ages. And the boosts that come with that. Now, this champion, of course, you have to get level 6 as safe as you can, and then try and transition into that mid to late game. Now, most of the time, if you are a little bit smart, we're going for a full purple side, by the way, on Lobster option. Will they keep that trend going? We'll wait and see. I mean, they might have tried to take that cast in eventually, but it's going to be taken off the table. Maybe that will upset them. Maybe Larry the Lobster's going to come in here and start throwing some weights around. You never know. But the Ezreal being picked here, going into the Kaiser, do you think that this is something that suits the Kaiser a little bit more in that laning phase?
Yeah, Kaiser can lane into the Ezreal. I mean, both these champions are okay with the other matchup. Not too bad in lane. Ezreal has better range, can poke up the Kaiser. Kaiser has her ultimate, the Killer Instinct. So if Ezreal tries to escape in a skirmish scenario, she can chase down and kill the pesky Ezreal in the backline here. So another low-range aggressive option out of Bedard. This one a little bit more standard. Gonna hopefully try to channel his best Gala here. As we're waiting for a support pairing, we'll see what Pancakes Man can do. Was good on that Nautilus.
There it
I should have.
is.
I stalled way too long, Lamb. I should have sped it up a little bit to make myself look better. But yeah, they picked the Nautilus classic combo with the Kaisa, and they can definitely do damage if Renge Tea Time doesn't pick an appropriate support here. So what are they gonna do? I think maybe something a bit disengage would be good. Something that can add a bit of kite. Plenty of options. I mean, one comes to mind is Braum, but I don't think they're gonna put Braum here. So we'll see. The Seraphine is out. They're going to do Rel. They went the opposite way. They said, disengage. Hell no, we're going in. Rel Ezreal is interesting. It's going to pair well with the Zac and the Kassadin, but definitely not for the lane.
You got a lot of follow-up, but I really like how you highlighted it. It's not, oh, I love Jace. Please lock in the Jace here. One of my favorite champions.
Wait. 1 second. Before we go, the Jace disincentivizes the Jax pick. I had to say this. Jace actually wins against Jax land. So if they lock this in, okay, wait a minute, but they just wait now they can pick Jace counter. Well, we'll see. We'll see if plays Jace. But I was just gonna point that out. Okay. Now the counter pick is open. I don't know.
We'll hold on to our butts for a second as they kind of say. I completely forgot about the train of thought with that one, but I was gonna say
sorry.
no. I was gonna say that the Rel certainly doesn't bode well in that 2v2, right? When it goes into Nar coming out. Now Nar is really good at harassing the heck out of Jax, but you need to time the hop, right? That hop has to be on the money every single time, because if it's not, Jax will just run you down every time. And I mean, look at this draft from the Lobster option. Is they've tried to play something different all the time, but you're seeing a run back from Pancakes Man on the Nautilus. You're seeing a run back from Maldoche on the Belvest. Found a little bit more success with that than the Maokai. So maybe that hyper aggressor in that jungle kind of suits his playstyle more than it does a utility champion like Maokai.
Yeah, I think so far was playing better on the Belveth. That being said, the team kind of was on a steam roll, so made it easy. So we'll see. I think maybe Maldoche might have been feeling a little bit too hyphy in game number 1. Decided to calm down here. I mean, the only plays that stood out that were bad were the ones where, diving things you really shouldn't be diving. So probably won't be doing that, and we'll be set for this game here. Looking at these comps, Lamb, this might be the most balanced draft all day. Both these teams have strengths. Both of them are really good at going in, and no one has any counter peel. Of course, champions with CC can peel, of course, like the Rel. But most of these teams are geared for engage here. Interested to see the Jax Belveth interactions. I think that's going to go swell for Renge Tea Time. But on the other side, this Gnar is going to be annoying with that poke, as you're saying, can kite out the Jax on the top side. I think this is the most balanced draft, but both teams are set up to just square away. This is like a stand and bang kind of situation here. They're just going to slug it out.
Slugging it out might be the best thing that could come with a game 3, but I already know your predictions here, Crims, as we get a little bit of a hiccup in the thing, but we'll go back to that in a second. Yeah, I'm just kind of zoning in the red theme, kind of going ahead, siding with the red side. I mean, it's pretty favorable for you that the Lobster option, Lobsters are red. Argument could be made that there may be orange. Maybe there's a mix-up there, but I'll get the definitive answer from yourself. Who's going to win this game?
Yeah, so Renge Tea Time, I really like their comp here. They have some nice
here
picks.
Yeah,
they have the Zac, they have the Gas. You know what, Lab just ruined my whole bit. Well, you know what? You do it now. I'm out of here. You do the whole rest. You close it out. You say my prediction. You do it all. I'm done.
Hey, wait. So this is actually sticking up for all the production teams. So Crims has been on a hot one today. That's why he's wearing red. He's been flaming everybody. He made Slayer change his shirt to the red side. Look, Crims is on one. That's Crims, baby, and that's why we love him. But to break down this draft a little bit more, by the way, my prediction is going to be the Lobster option. I think they're going to clean sweep today. Break down everything. Slayer might. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Lam and Lam. Apparently, as they're closing things out, Crims is completely gone here. So we certainly have a very, I would say, I think they said it well, Mike. We have our most balanced draft potentially on the slate for our third game here. And funnily enough, we lean towards the team that we thought had the draft if in game 1, cashed in here on the analyst desk. We leaned again towards the favorite draft team in game 2. Lost all the money we cashed in game 1. Game 3 definitely feels like the decider, not only for the lives of this Renge Tea Time squad, but also maybe for my credibility at least. Mike has had a couple extra points with how well he's been able to call the champion so far, but certainly a lot of big hitters in the current meta, and my favorite part, Mike, is Bedard is still sticking to the closest range 80 carries possible. He didn't go for Nyla, but Kais is like the next one up on that list.
Yeah, Kais is just upgraded Vayne, basically. It fits his playstyle super well. He's gonna be all up in there, dashing and getting the kills, scaling, going absolutely nuts. The comps are relatively balanced on paper. I'm a little iffy about the rel pick. I think that Crimson Lom also had some reservations about the rel pick. It is another source of secondary engage, but I would have liked to see some kind of utility to come out. I know Karma was banned, but you still had like Lulu option open. Just something, or maybe something that can roam a little bit better. Rel isn't really the strongest of roamers unless you're really catching people off guard. She doesn't really make plays. She more so reacts really, really hard. But you know, well, I'm excited to see what Up Yonder has in store for us with this rel. But like you said, it's been the Bedard show all night. And he's got Nautilus pancakes on the Nautilus, which was a standout performance last game as well. I'm putting all my chips into the Bedard basket. I've learned my lesson. You never bet against Bedard. But maybe Die Now can scale, but Rise is also really good scaling, but Jax also scales, so it's like they're tit for tat in every single lane. It's just the Bedard edge factor. The Bedard weights the scales in favor of TDO, or TLO. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to give it over to Lobster option.
Wow, might get right to business here. No playing around this time around. It is intriguing though. I do want to kind of go back and talk about how close the scaling is because like you go down the list, right? Jax over Gnar, yes, obvious. Bel'Veth scales harder than Zac, even if Zac's pretty, is very much in the meta, but not because he scales, because of his other factors. Yeah. Cassin and Rise, stalemate. I would favor a Kassadin because nothing scares me more than level 18 Kassadin, or 16 Kassadin. And then the Bedard factor, he does have the scaling over an Ezreal. As much as I would love to just always praise an Ezreal player. And then Nautilus and Rel like to do a lot of the same things. What I'm most afraid of for this Tea Time squad is I just love how flawless and seamless. Obviously, Nautilus has a lot of crowd control that can proc Killer Instinct on Kai'Sa, but depth charges are so good for doing it, and I've seen it so many times, Mike. But somebody gets a depth charge dropped on them, and they're like, "All right, okay, I need to create more distance.
I need to run into my entire team, knock everyone up.
I need to knock everyone up. I also have to get as far away from their team." Oh, I just created more distance for Kai'Sa to ult me. Great, cool. Yeah. So I'm further away from my help, and the Fed Kai'Sa's on top of me. Okay, I'm calling my shot there. I'm also taking the Lobster option to 3-0 these plans because they've deserved it. But my prop bet is that somebody's gonna flash away with a depth charge, flash or dash away with a depth charge, and is gonna set up Bedard to blow them up with Killer Instinct. So we'll see. We'll see if that little tasty treat plays out, but nonetheless, as we're prepping to get into game here, we've talked about Bedard enough. Is there either one of these lanes that you're looking to be intriguing for matchups?
Top hot guy handsome. Maybe he can do something on the Jax if he gets going. It could be something. Die Now also on the Kassadin, but it's like you've got a lot of a wall to overcome here. Your skill differential on your opponent has to be a massive plateau. But hopefully we'll see it. I mean, I like Zac picks, especially against the relatively immobile team that we've got over here. Rise is a juicy Zac target, but Kassadin's not really going to be able to kill him until like post 6. But maybe we can get the top lane going. Jax, Zac combo. There's a lot of CC there. There's a lot of potential to kill the Gnar. Maybe even get the duo going into the jungle up against the Bel'Veth. But Mal, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Maldrothe? Mal something. Bel'Veth played pretty decently on the Bel'Veth last game. So I'm excited to see if he's got even more in store for us. He seemed a lot more comfortable on Bel'Veth than on Maokai, even though Maokai is like more of a meta champion. The Bel'Veth seemed to like suit his playstyle a little bit better. So I think that's going to be something that we can watch also.
But yeah, Madolche, yes, on the Bel'Veth will someone to watch. I do like the sort of the Zach counter that was also in play. It's going to be a big test to see how it is wielded here by Blazikus and the Pancakes man here, but not out of all the champions that could kind of disrupt Zach trying to elastic slingshot himself to your back line and jump people up with this Belveth maybe in the rise. Nautilus can hook him out of it. Gnar can also throw him out of it with Gnar ultimate. So I'll be looking to see if they can sort of disrupt Zach trying to jump to the back line. But I do see the sort of like gradual climb that you can see from the scaling, at least for Wrench Tea Time, to play devil's advocate. If this is really in an ideal scenario, which against this Lobster option squad is probably not going to happen, Mike. But what you want to do, in my mind, here is your bottom lane starts out as the strength early on, because Ezreal can hit a pretty good mid-game power spike playing around those more mana items and maybe trying and avoid Quick Blades build with an Essence Reaver and such like that. He power spikes and plateaus, but when he plateaus, Cassin and Jax come online. And maybe there's also, we haven't seen a team try really hard to split push and force Lobster option apart. Maybe that will lead to success. The problem is no team has really had an even footing or a lead going into points where split pushing matters, where they could even try that.
Yeah, I think if you are on the side here of Renegade Tea Time, a 1-3-1 comp, you have a great 1-3-1. Ezreal holds down the center lane like super well. Cassin and Jax are excellent split pushers. Now they do get answered pretty well by the Rise and the Gnar, but if they do get enough of a lead, they can bulldoze those lanes and create those side lane pressure threats that they could use to split up the team, maybe isolate Bedard into a position where you can't just 1v9 the entire team. So it's interesting to see if they can pull that off.
Well, as crazy as it sounds, it's time to figure out if Bedard can go 3 for 3 in 1v9 games. And for the last time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is the lovely Lam and Crims for the final game of our dominant plans.
30 seconds until
Bedard, I'm getting sick of hearing this guy's name. I'm only joking. He's earned the right to be spoken about in such high praise. His performances have been nothing short of immaculate. Is up yonder. Okay.
Oh. The wall. Okay.
Wow. Very interesting cancel there. Staggering blow doesn't go from the Pancakes, man. I know you're a big fan of this guy. What do you reckon his chances in popping off in this game is?
I think it's going to be pretty good if the team gets rolling. If they're strong enough at killing the front line, he's going to be landing some very nasty hooks. But personally, Lamb, I'm more of a waffles guy.
Hey, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that day after stream.
But
eerie silence, just get laughed at on that one.
Yeah, he's got the CC. You know, all right. You've been very persistent.
You're so sick of me today, man.
You've been very persistent, Lamb. I'll give you a chance. What do you say, Chad?
Oh, League of Legends, baby.
Wait, hold
it brings
up.
everybody together.
Wait, Lamb. Do you see what I'm seeing?
I'm
Who's
looking.
in the mid lane? It's not.
Gnar is in the mid lane.
Oh, that's a nasty hook. Walter bot gonna get CC'd. Exhaust blown early. Pancake Man is backing away. Bedard. Looks like they barely win the trade, but at what cost? They
No
are down.
flash. No. On Kaiser. So bear witness to that. If Intium wants to go down there and make things happen, that Zach is actually patting away from that situation. So if that information is relative to the Lobster option, then certainly they're playing pretty good down there. That flash isn't going to mean too much. And of course, Pancake Man, he's going to have the Hex Flash there, so he'll be making to look things happen with a little bit of surprise. But that mid lane has certainly seen a change up. Who's seen that coming? That the Gnar is going to find himself against the Kassadin. Now for Kassadin, that's a bit of a problem here, Crim.
Yeah, Cashin is going to get beat up. As we can see, bruisers in Kassadin is very rough. Blazikus, though, playing a bit too aggressive, takes too many tower shots, but is certainly going to be fine here. I did say at the beginning of the draft, I was wondering if it was going to be a flex pick rise because they blinded it so early. And that was the premonition here. Maldoche going to get a very easy blue buff pickup, as it looks like they're aiming to mess up the bot lane. Look at this. 2 members of red team going in.
Oh, Hex Flash to get in range here. Who's going to get the staggering blow? It is going to be Walter.
Nice.
He gets pulled back in on the money again. Flash away, Arcane Shift. He's going to use the heal to get out of there. Up yonder, interrupts Blaziken, and that's enough to keep the Ezreal alive. But that is some crazy onslaught this early on in the game.
I like Pancakes Man idea. He went for the snare, and then he knew Ezreal would E away, and he just waited for that spell to come out. Unfortunately, though, Bedard wasn't really there to deal damage, and that's why Ezreal made such a clean getaway. Did have to burn spells, but that's to be expected. I know, trying to back. They're going to use this pressure to get a nice reset, and Bedard up in CS. I've heard that 1,000 times today.
1,000 times, and it might be 1,001 today as we keep it going with that AD carry train. And that's not even the buffs coming through. That's just the individual skill in the champion. But Hot Guy Handsome, I mean, you could probably relate to that name there, Crims. He's having a tough time up there. Yeah, Choppy, yeah, you're not enjoying this at all. But we'll
right, hold up. I can be one of those things. So, which one do you want to be, Lamb? Do you want to be Hot
I'll be
Guy
the
or
guy.
Handsome?
I'll be guy, you just be Hot Handsome.
All right, Hot Handsome and Guy. Lamb, two. You can't take a compliment. All right, I'm gonna donate Hot to you, so you can be Hot Guy. I'll be Handsome, and that'll be us for the rest of today. This Jax though is not faring too well into the Rise, and that's because Rise is not based off autos. Those spells getting in there. Blaziken reaching level 6, and that's the real turning point, as you were mentioning, Lamb. I've really been drilling in on this castle level 6 because it's so important to get a gank pre-6, and so far, Lamb, Dino has not died.
Dino is actually doing a good job in keeping up with the CS. Look at that harass from Blaziken. Just out the range of the turret, so no aggro going to go over onto the Gnar, and that's just going to go and keep on getting worse for that mid laner. So definitely going to need some help in there to kind of get away from that harass from the Gnar. Even getting a couple of resets. Teleport is down for the Gnar, so this would be prime contention if that Zac wants to make things happen in that mid lane. But we're going to see that duel. Always Choppy gets a phase rush away from Hot Guy Handsome. Lamb and Crims combined up there. We're never going to let go of that. Dredge lane in. Pancakes, man. Aggressive. Here comes Zac. Elastic Slingshot, not in range. Gets the flash away. Pancakes, man. Over comes Maldoche. Looking for something. Above and beyond onto up yonder. No flash onto the realm. First blood onto the jungler. Great gang. Comes through, but Bedard being collapsed on. Cleanse has to be procced by him. He actually gets it. Gets the kill and goes down regardless. Strikes back in. Zac taking over. Maldoche, Dredgeline back in to delay the Zac engage. And the jungler will get away. Pancakes, man.
This dude is on fire on Nautilus. You know what, Lamb? It's looking like Lobster option have two necessary bans. One's going to be that Lucian, and the other one is looking like it's going to be the Nautilus. He's just too good on this champion. Setting up the CC, setting up the pick, saving his jungler there from certain death. Intinium really wanted that kill and only got one. And look at this, Dino, dude, all that bot action is going to be able to farm up to level 6 unpunished by Blaziken so far here. And yeah, it's looking like the Lobster option may be getting away with murder in the mid lane.
Up yonder tried a little bit sneakiness on the Bedard, but he flashes that bee emoji. He really likes those bees buzzing around there, being a nuisance. Once you get stung, it's pretty unfortunate if you're too near it. But anyway, at least it's not a hornet. In this case, it may as well be, because Bedard has been that potent in that bot lane as well. And up yonder, they're still keeping up with the Kaiser and the Pancakes, man, who have definitely been the standout duo that we've seen in the bot side amongst these 3 games. And it's really bode well for the team, but this also gives the rest of the league an insight on how they want to play the game here, Crims.
Yeah, maybe setting up for a mid carry could be the possible answer. And Dino on this Kassadin looking like he's en route. Now he's nowhere near carry status just yet, but so far checking some boxes.
Checking boxes, checking that brush actually. Initium gets that ward away, so he's hovering around. Actually, Pancakes man and Bedard seen that he was there. Rel goes ahead, no level 6, but it's still going to be that much better as Pancakes Man gets the last auto from Walter. Kill going over to the Ezreal. Plays the curse, misses the boulder toss, but gets a Gnar into the wall from Dino. Trades over and wins that for now as that lane state remains neutral with the dragon on the board.
All right, they pick up a small win in the bot side, and they're looking to transition that into a dragon. Blaziken, though, has pressure in the mid lane. However, no ultimate and no Mega Gnar. He's just going to face check. Doesn't need to be here. Oh, wait a minute. Does not get...
The dragon. 1,000 left on the dragon. Should be a clean smite, but they're now trapped in that pit. Up yonder goes across. Arcane Shift as well. Elastic Slingshot not going to be favorable for the Zac right now. He's collapsed upon Maldoche. Plays the kiss. Bedard wrapping around. He actually gets a kill onto the Zac. Still looking for a little bit more.
Hey, Walter bot,
level 6 now on the Kaiser. Following up with Walter. Arcane Shift, Killer Instinct forward. The Kitty and Rain fully stacked. Double kill for Bedard. Are we surprised?
I guess not. I guess not. Look, he's just too good that we expect greatness from him. Is this going to be the downfall of Bedard? As Hawkeye Handsome is facing a storm here. Choppy just letting him have it, gunning away, taking control of the top side. So Bedard and Choppy doing quite excellent. Oh, Maldoche.
Nikion wants to fight with Maldoche, but the Royal Maelstrom comes out and cuts him down, and on the top side, Rise kills Hawkeye Handsome. Unfortunate circumstances. Free gold in that top lane for Choppy.
All right, Lobster option. They're pulling away again. This time it's even earlier. Dino trying to fight back against Blaziken, but this is only going to lead to his doom. And I'm looking at a Rift Herald ripe for the taking. Hawkeye Handsome, no way he can contest this. Maldoche farming away. This man loves the CS and the gold. We'll see if they go for that Rift Herald here, as that jungle is being stolen from UT and Phoenix. And now, I think they have what they were set out to do on the side of Lobster. They got their bot lane ahead. They're holding down the Kassadin. Choppy's doing great in the top side. Maldoche is farming up, picking up kills. Is going to be accelerated on the Bel'Veth. Attack speed's going to go crazy once the items come in. And now they just need to get those dragons, and they have a win on their hands.
Kassadin's made them roam around. Pancakes Man flashes across, but that's only to his own demise. Who they're going to give the kill over to? It's going to be Walter. Second kill of the game on the Ezreal. That's exactly who you want the gold on.
All right, I don't think they expected the roam down from Dino. They went for a play on both sides of the map, which is usually not a good idea here, Lamb. But Lobster were not in a position to contest either side, so it actually turned out okay here. So we'll see. This might be one way that they can get back in the game with the Rift Herald. They're going to take that. Just got that completed. Now, where do they send it? I think Walter Bot's going to need some assistance, especially against someone like Bedard.
No, Bedard is going to get the backup. Pancakes Man gets it back. Oh, that was a big chunk of damage there. Pancakes Man, you know he's going to go for this. Depth charge first. That's pretty smart. Rel, he doesn't even matter. Bedard goes ahead, cleanses the exhaust, and gets enough damage to kill the opposing AD carry.
Yeah, that exhaust cleanse was clean, so all that damage went through. Walter Bot stood no chance against that Kai'Sa W. Looks like a rumble in the jungle here. Maldoche is battling for CS. This is Zac. He has to fight his way just to kill some camps.
Not getting a even stretch in this game. Initium is being pushed out consistently by Maldoche. Above and beyond lands there, flash forward. The Magnet Storm gonna come in from Borelli, trying to set up this team here. Stretch to Maldoche in. Push up Rise lands on the Bel'Veth as well. They turn actually on the Pancakes Man. Little bit of fight left in the side here. Blaziken's gonna be the third consecutive kill. And Renge Tea Time show up.
That was an excellent skirmish. Caught them completely off guard. However, it's not without a cause. Oh, Hawkeye Handsome. Bedard. They get the kill. Bedard goes down.
What just happened? I mean, the Hawkeye Handsome has had enough about getting hit from a distance. He wanted to close the gap, but it ultimately was too close to that mid lane turret. Regardless, Ezreal picks up another one.
I do have to say, yeah, Choppy's getting some free plates here. If you don't think you can carry the game, I guess that is the worthwhile play. That is some BM to the rest of the members of the Lobster option, though. It's not just Berdard. The rest of the team can pull their weight. He just does most of it. Now this dragon getting set up here 20 seconds away, and it's not looking like Renegade Teton can make it in time. They're going to try to force their way, but it might be to their detriment.
We'll see what they can do with it. His dragon has always been a focus. 4 seconds on that next Inferno, and they're really jostling for positioning in this mid lane here. And they certainly have the push with Walter sitting in the mid lane right now. They rotate the Ezreal up there, which means Bedard is going to be left alone in that bot side. So they're going to get a push in the mid, but not the bottom. It's going to be very even for this dragon fight.
Wait, they have to start a fight now. Okay, they're doing it perfect.
John just engages onto the Maldoche. Actually kills him with a 2-shot barrage. Ezreal on the money again. That's a quick double kill over AD carry. As Nargos in actually throws the Ezreal. Okay, still doing things. Walter is just killing with Bedard right now. That's a triple kill. Blaziken going low. Quadra kill for Ezreal, and Walter looks for the penta kill. There it is, and he steps up huge for his team.
Excellent play from Walterbot, and Bedard importantly doesn't get the execute, and he's able to free hit. Excellent skirmish too, as well, using the Rift Herald to separate that team. And then up yonder gets that perfect engage on the 2 solo, and the rest of the team swoop in to pick up the kills. Blaziken was there, but he was late due to that Rift Herald. Excellent macro decision making as well. And then Dino and Walterbot providing the damage. Lamb, they're making it interesting here from the side of Renegade Tea Time. Maybe it's not tea time. I heard that's a bit relaxing. This is not really looking like a relaxing moment.
This is more Breaking Bad style Walter, but instead of Breaking Bad, he's breaking legs. Just twisting them up, Arcane shifting all over that team fight. Actually found himself in the middle of a 3v1, but everybody just forgot about the Ezreal, and man, he got paid after that skirmish. I believe he just spent 3,500 gold. The Ezreal looking to take over this game.
Yeah, Ezreal is the one who queues here. Hawkeye Handsome, yeah, that is not a trade you want, but it was just a Blaziken locked up here. I don't think they have enough initiative to kill on this Gnar. Mega coming in soon, but look at where Maldoche is. He's invading again. He's putting Zach massively behind. He's going for plays, but now he's got to get out.
Yeah, Dino gets a number in Maldoche. He's running towards the rise right now, but this could be a Jabé. Lead strike forward, counter strike, he'll lock up Maldoche. Zach's going to come across. 2-shot barrage. It's Walter again. 10th kill of the game for him.
All right, Walter picks it up, and importantly, they don't lose anyone. Maldoche, look, he's been doing this all day. He's going to go for that farm. He's going to go for that extra CS. He's going to go for that dive. There's no brakes on the Maldoche train, and I'm going to be honest, they're going to need to get that checked out. Going to need to send it to the shop because it's not working out every time. Sometimes you need your brakes.
Sometimes you definitely need to stop and ask, what am I actually doing here? No vision around that area, and he just goes in, helps himself, and he's probably shouting at Choppy, hey, I need some assistance here, and Choppy's like, yeah, I don't know what you're doing there, brother, I'm just gonna back away. But regardless, again, double digits on the kills for Walter. We're seeing a resurgence of a new AD carry here.
Yeah, Walter Bot will be the antithesis to Bedard. That's interesting to see. I mean, this is the first time someone's had a leg up on Bedard. Now, that's not to say that Bedard is out of this. I mean, certainly can 1v1 the Ezreal, no problem. Dino getting kited down. The boomerangs are coming out. And yeah, Cassidy doesn't have any defenses against the Gnar.
So obnoxious. We've seen this before. The Hawkeye Handsome wanted to get Bedard, and Bedard gets on back as the Jax jumps to his death.
Yeah, he's got all his points in charisma. Needed to put a little bit more into wisdom or not to go for that play. But Blaziken, though, he's going to have to find his way out. Uses the ultimate, and this is a Rift Herald fight. 18 minutes in the game. Both teams dedicated. Choppy has TP.
These rail engages have been so good.
here.
Magnet Storm tools, Bedard, bang, no
Bedard.
claims available. As they collapse on the Kaiser and the shutdown will go over Ezreal. Now they're looking at the rest of the team. Dino looking to take the center stage because Ezreal's been doing everything. Maldoche gets the double over the Kassadin. And Shelly belongs to Rengi. Tea time.
Oh, they're getting the engage on Bedard, and he's forced Killer Instinct early. And that's exactly what they want. All the members turn right onto the Kaisa. And it's looking like the formula to win for the Lobster options being broken down here. Choppy didn't get the turn on the bot side either, and they lose the Rift Herald. So that's going to be double L's for them. The gold lead, though. Look at this lane. Somehow, they are still in favor
It's just
of
ridiculous.
the red team.
Look at the CS across the board right now. That's your discrepancy. But in terms of itemization, you could say it's still in favor a little bit for Rengi. Tea time here is now they have even more
that's
influence in this
gonna
game
throw it to their
because
side.
now Kassadin has been accelerated 2 kills. I mean, he's got 10, he's got 12 KP, and he's only sitting on 2 kills in this game.
Yeah, that's going to be roughly 80% kill participation, somewhere around there. Doing a great job helping the team. Doesn't need to carry at the moment, but going to need to put on those pants soon because this is what the Cassin is built for. Almost on that second item tier, fully stacked. And now, oh, I'm surprised they weren't able to snag the gold lead with the turret from the Rift Herald. Look at this dragon forming in the bottom. It's up. They have 4 members. There's no TP stop. This is a 4v. She can be a 4v5 if Blaziken can back.
4v3 here, Nar looking at Donna's fight, has
Yonder
teleport
caught.
still in the rail, so that was a bad engagement. Now the tables are turning again. Dino under pressure right now. Killer Instinct ahead, and that's a shutdown over in Bedard. As the rest of the team will now collapse onto the final member of that skirmish. They collect the Zac, but they do not delay the soul point.
Yeah, they're going for the Baron, though. That could be well worth it. If they pick this up, they have a good Baron. They can take this game away, making guarantee that there's going to be no soul for the side of Renegade Tea time here. They're taking the Baron. It's going to be contested just a little bit. I don't think Jax can do anything. Walterbot's coming to poke, but it's going to be way too late. 2K,
Jax
1K.
goes
Wait, they're going in.
Yeah, that was interesting jumping in with no smite available. You're never going to win that, I'm afraid.
That's a hero
good.
play.
Yeah, he went for the Hail Mary, and really, he's hailing nothing. He might just be Mary in this case, but that gold lead now, 3,600, just like that for the side of the Lobster option. They take control in this game once again.
Yeah, they're going to have to make sure that they don't pick up any extra gold from the side of Renegade Tea time. Lobster auction, if they can take control of the map, that's going to prevent the dragon like I was talking about earlier. So these second tier turrets, if they stay up, that's going to give Renegade Tea time the availability to contest the dragon and go for the win themselves. Now, last time it didn't work out, it was a 4v5 right limb. No one was following the TP on Blaziken, and he was able to make it down there. And Hawkeye Handsome, he did not have TP at all, so wasn't able to make it to that fight. Definitely have to make sure they don't set that up again. That was not a winning scenario. And up yonder, unfortunately, was... Oh, here we go. They're setting this up.
Engaged from Initium.
Wait, Ralph.
Walking away from just like Magnet Storm. That's going to connect with the two-shot barrages. They pull them in once again. Bedard under 25% health. Choppy has to flash out there, but returns fire and secures the kill. Action on the bot lane. We don't know what happened there, but we can tell you for sure that I think it was Nar actually fell down there. Yeah, good collapse by Jackson Caston. But they do have the Voidlings right there of Belveth. Doesn't look like they want anything more, but man, this game is on the knife's edge here, Crims.
Oh, you could see up yonder, he was waiting in that little bit of the shadow, the outcropping of that jungle. Well, he's going to make it out. That rel engage, that 3-man perfect Magnet Storm into the stun it just needed more members. Unfortunately, Dino was working on killing Blaziken on the bot side there. So they were only able to stall for just a moment until Zac fell. But now, that's going to put a stop to the Baron. They got 2 of the 3 outers. That's still a lot of pressure going over to Lobster. And that means that they can set up this jungle. So far, look at this difference in vision. The red is all over the map. That's what I like to see, Lamb. I like to see red
Yeah,
covering the map
big
today.
fan of red today, Crims. We know. We know. For good cause, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. For good cause, of course. Celebrations are always that much more enticing when the side of the map is winning for you, Crim. So that prediction, it still stands tall. And have a look at the Kaiser right now. 10 kills on her. They're going to collapse on a Choppy, under threat. Rise got nowhere to go. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And Hawkeye Handsome gets that hockey stick down onto the Rise's bald head as he collects a kill for himself.
Yeah, he slap shots that Rise right into a gray screen here. They're going to contest this bottom turret. Still up, surprisingly, 24 minutes in the game. Rise is going to be back for the Dragon. So they are not. They're just stalling the inevitable of the 5v5 Blaziken. Working topside, Dino's there to respond. And look at Maldoche doing what he does best. Hard farming. Almost 70 CS up here. Significantly stronger than Zach. Zach is just a fancy meatball right now. Oh, Dino, he says he's had enough. He wants a piece of this Gnar.
Oh, Blaziken. Yeah, he's going to get exploded by Dino. Wow, this casting beginning to be a problem here, Crims.
Yeah, finally, after getting beat down by the Boomerang, they're going for it.
Counter-strike gets pulled in by Pancakes Man. Who else? It's going to come in here from the Rise, going to join it right here as Initium goes low, 10%. He actually gets deleted from the Nautilus. Now looking to re-engage potentially. Maldoche gets endless banquet. The stacks are there for him. Moisture straight forward. Royal Maelstrom. He's the Jack's alive right in front of him. This looks like favorable fight coming through from the Lobster option as Choppy slays Rel and Rel falls in a fury of fire. Dino goes into a 1v4, gets staggering blow, then that kill will go over to the jungler. His Dragon is their next focus.
Ah, wow, they went for that play. They're going to try to go for Walterbot here. I think he's just going to hop over the wall, but they can go for the chase down as they pick up that Dragon successfully, staving off the soul. Oh, Bedard, he's going to get it. Walterbot can't do anything. The shutdown, more money in his pocket. I just have to say, a bit of criticism here for the side of Renegade Tea Time. No patience. Couldn't wait for the 5v5 around the Dragon. Had to go for that skirmish, and it was a poor decision there as they did not win that at all. And then multiple people just trying to dive in on Bedard when the team is around him. Bit of desperation play multiple times from Hot Guy Handsome. Someone is going to need to chill just a little bit. The opportunities to win are there. You don't have to force them.
And you can see that they're not getting too much from that desperation attempts, and it really comes through from the Jacks just flashing forward, trying to stun up Kaiser, and doesn't really get anything for it. They actually only got the flash out with Madolce in that whole skirmish. Choppy did get away pretty early on, and that Rise is now level 16. That's huge damage coming out from him. He's got the phase rush. You get those spell fluxes bouncing around the team, especially when they're grouped in close combat. And a lot of emphasis is going to be now on Dino to actually stand up and be counted level 16 on the casting.
I do think that they should pair Dino into Choppy. I think that's going to work out a lot better here. But we do know Dino can win against Blaziken in the mini Gnar form. I do think Hawkeye Handsome on this Jax at this state could also pair well. I'd like for them to switch. I think Dino can handle Choppy way better than Hawkeye Handsome can. Let's see, they're making an aggressive play for the blue. They're invading in the jungle. Odoche, he wants a blue buff. Who would have thought?
He's got this timer to a T. Tea time for Madolce. Never mind the other team. He still wants the grub. He's a maniac, Crims.
Yeah, he has a thirst that's unsatiable. There's nothing that could fill it.
Oh, they're sick of him invading.
Wait,
oh, gets interrupted as well. Death charge goes down.
Bedard on the back.
Pancakes Man running away. Bedard isolated. They swing back around. Killer Instinct. He gets shut down by the Ezreal. Now, Choppy still peeling it back. The phase rush helping out the Rise. Jax goes low. He's burning with Ignite, but does get the honey fruit to stay alive. Choppy positioning very aggressively. He connects onto that. Or Imprison interrupts the Zach. Cell Division proc. He's left alone. He will be left to the wolves. And now they collapse onto Rel and double kill for the jungler. Choppy makes quick work of the Jax, and now that Baron looking like it's all Lobster option.
They didn't need Bedard to win that one, Lamb. They did it without him. Chopping, supplying the damage this time around. And now Walterbot in a bit of a kiting situation. Dino's here though. Wait, everyone's low HP. Can the
back to
captain
the wrecked walk. He does get Blaziken. Okay, Maldochi hasn't left the Baron. He does secure that. That's important. Choppy gets his stasis. Endless banquet onto the Baron. Turning around onto Dino. Now Maldochi turning the tide here. Wants a little bit more. He'll disengage such a close fight, but Lobster get away with the Baron.
All right, the Baron, they get it again. This is going to be huge. Last time they got 2 turrets. They should try to go for more. Again, they're getting the pressure to prevent the final Dragon Soul from landing. It's a close one, though. And Dino almost had all of their numbers, but at the end, he lost it. Maldoche has been scaled. I mean, look, he's been working hard, farming, and it's paying off. He's getting the rewards of all that work, and it's harvest season right now, man.
It's harvest season, and I'd love to check what this man's time on Farming Simulator is, because most certainly he's right up there. It's incredible how much CS he is basically taking the whole jungle for himself, giving nothing to Initium. This Zac is so starved of items and gold right now. It's pretty tough to see. I mean, it's a 3-level discrepancy in that jungle right now.
The 3 levels is absolutely huge, especially considering the fact that there's a rubber band EXP 30 seconds away from this dragon, the Baron in effect, so that's going to make it very hard to contest. It looks like they're just going to walk right through the blue jungle. They're walking straight into this choke point here. If they walk through, oh, this is huge.
Okay, big Magnet Storm brings in 4. There's a lot of happening here. Push up, Razzle with multiple. Bedard, he's looking to pop off, and this one is Choppy runs away. Blaziken's going low as well, but a kid here, Rain. Fully stacked passive, triple kill for the Kaiser. That's a quadra kill for Kaiser. Bedard looking for the Penta, and Ezreal will get away for now. Remember, Ezreal, the only one with a Penta. Dredge line. There it is, set up on a plate. Bedard, is it still got Choppy's willing to die for the cause?
Can they get
Bedard
it?
needs one more auto attack. Bedard stays it. Penta kill for Bedard.
Bedard picks up the counter. Penta. He says to Walterbot, I can get Pentas too. And up shows him, gets the Penta in a very important team fight. All right, Choppy. Choppy, he paid for that pentakill, but they're willing to give it to Bedard. This man getting everything today. Walterbot, unfortunately, not on the correct champion to carry out that fight there. Didn't have enough team fight damage, despite the rel. Also, wait a minute, Bedard, I'm just sitting here breaking. Don't die.
Kaiser gets shut down by the Kassadin. That pendulum, it keeps swinging here, Crims. Re-engage from a Dolce, locked up. Zac going to join in. Now look at the healing from the jungler Belveth. Farming Simulator is paying off. Is up yonder without a paddle right now. He gets taken down as Madolce is godlike.
Dolce tearing out the slack. Bedard, that's the last time I'm going to sing your praises as the Pegasus man. He's going in. They
have Walter right now. Walter looking to connect the Mystic shots. Madolce gets shut down by Walter. Oh my god, triple kill for the AD carry.
Lamb, this game is somehow not over. They stall. I think this is going to be on the last couple of fights. There's 2 inhibs down. That can only mean one thing. We're either one fight away from the game extending a couple more minutes, or the end of this game here. They only have one team fight to decide it all. And it's been close. Bedard, he did throw it there at the end. He gave them one more opportunity. And we'll see if they're going to take it on the side of Ring AT time. Certainly on the edge here. They do not have many options. And it's looking like the Lobster is going to be the only one left.
What a game 3. 2 pentakills. Who could have wrote that script? It's the Battle of Walter and Bedard as they go head to head in the colossal matchup that is that AD carry role, and it's not even been buffed yet. 2-level difference still. Look at the experience advantage on the side of the Lobster option. You say they're playing with their food a little bit here, but now they're starting to crack open the rest of that map. as they already taken 2 inhibitors, and now they're pushing on that second tier in the top lane.
Okay, Hawkeye Handsome, he wants to win the side lane, and he's doing a great job. Ultimate Poppy's Q is going to come up soon. Blaziken, he's in mini form. Doesn't get the stun, but that's pressure. And now he can teleport. Oh, there it is. Maldoche, he senses the kill. He wants it, we all know, but they can engage topside.
Oh, he might go big. Gnar right here in the Gnar bar being charged. Hawkeye
Oh, no, he threw it away. He threw it away.
Oh, yeah, that kill goes over a Blaziken.
Now, this is just another lull before the storm. They could have went for a kill. Wait a minute. This Zac, all alone in a jungle by himself.
That's a dub right there. He gets his jungle. A part of it anyway is the blue buff and Gromp already spoken for.
He gets a measly portion that Madolche left him to go get the kill.
Meanwhile, Madolche, yeah, he's getting a kill on the opposite side of the map there. Yeah, he's. I think that's a worthy trade for the Wolves. It isn't even your jungle.
Wolves aren't even that great. As we have Voltabot ulting to stall on this wave. The supers are coming in. Blaziken is on that split push duty here. Blaziken, though, he's starting to have to worry on his mini form. He's not able to match up either. All this pressure will be given over this Baron. I don't imagine a contest soon. And now, Super Baron minions will probably walk into the base. You know, we haven't checked Maldoche's attack speed bonus yet. You know, let's go ahead, pop over, look at that passive, and yeah, it's 129% extra attack speed. He's got 129 stacks. If you didn't know how that worked, that is absolutely insane. In this long game, it's paying off.
Paying off big time as he looks to feast once again, but Hawkeye Handsome gets the counter-strike up. Oh, the
flurry of blows.
Just melts the Jax. I swear to you, right now, there was a Jax there, but for how long, I couldn't tell you. It must have been a point of a second before he was delayed off the Rift Dino. Looking for Choppy, mid laners battling out. Of course, the drive was flexed to the top lane. Stasis activated from Choppy. And the jump, gonna pull several win, but Dino does beat down on Choppy right there. True Brad goes wide. It's a peeling back from Bedard. Look at the Kaiser, look at the footwork, look at the peel. He's on the up yonder now, he's back on his Dino. That's another, I think it was a quadra kill for Kaiser. Bedard polishes that performance up. He gets the 20 kill mark, Crims. He must have heard me when he finished with 18.
Yeah, he definitely was able to survive and lay down that damage in that last fight. Dino wasn't able to get it. All the scaling, all this time put into this Kassadin, and they don't pull through off the back of Bedard and Maldoche. Much better performance in this game, actually proving the strength of that late game Bel'Veth, and they're using it to its fullest power. Hot Guy Handsome, unfortunately, just melted under the spears of Maldoche. That Bel'Veth was so strong. The farming paid off. Walterbot, and we have to talk about Walterbot. Unfortunately, lost the game, Lamb. But so far, this is the only person today to actually challenge Bedard. And on the Ezreal in the lane, out of lane, got the first pentakill as well. Bedard got a run for his money, but it's still showing that he is the king of today. I mean, he's the MVP. He did a lot of work. Look at these damage stats in every game. Just proved to be the better duo in the bot lane with Pancakes, man. Up yonder, though, I mean, both of these bot laners, I mean, it looked close. It looked close.
Key to the castle, as you mentioned, but the king of the castle after today is definitely going to be Bedard. 20 kills in game 3. They trade over very respectfully in terms of pentakills. Another quadra kill on the Kaiser, another triple kill on the Walterbot. And really, the standings already dictated that Lobster has made it to a regular on Sunday afternoons. But to get kind of the rundown of today and everything that's been cemented, we are going to say goodbye and good night from me, Lamb, and Crims. It's been a pleasure to cast the games today. But for the final time, it's Risen Esports Analyst Desk with Slayer and Mike.
Thank you guys so much, and honestly, beautiful call on what was I'm gonna say it out the gate. I mean, that was game of the year. I honestly don't know. Like, obviously, there'll be games with bigger implications down the line when we get to playoffs, when we get to playing for playoff seeding, playing for the championship, playing for the title of the winner of the dominant split of 2023 winner. But Mike, just purely from like actual in-game gameplay, what the hell do we just watch?
That was insanity. Walter popped off after that pentakill. He was, I believe, 9-3, so he skyrocketed from 4-3 to 9-3, and just had a ton of gold, and was able to hold back the push for the longest time, despite the fact that the gold lead was ridiculous. Like, I say that 10k gold lead is pretty much 5k is when you have everything you need to close out the game. 10k is like insurmountable, and Walter was surmounting it. So that was amazing performance from both Kassadin. So Walter on the Ezreal and I believe Dinah on the Kassadin both played out of their minds that game. Renge Tea Time had a great attempt they played the closest game that we've seen all night against Lobster option. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it just was not enough. But oh my lord, did they go out guns blazing in a blaze of glory? What better way to lose than that fashion? That is like the most epic of like deaths that you could possibly have, the heroic death. So good on Renge Tea Time for making it spicy up until the very end.
Yeah, certainly congratulations to them. I mean, you couldn't have convinced me that that was the O2 team playing the 2 Unstoppable team. It didn't look like it at all. I mean, it looked like these were two Titans that were maybe fighting for the top seed in Dominant going into playoffs or the championship of Dominant playoffs.
Absolutely.
Like, with the level of play they had. But unfortunately, the Rengu Tea Time do come up short here. I'm hoping that down the line, at least, you know, maybe it's very rare that a team at this level stays together for a whole split, prepping for the next one. But I hope to at least see guys like you mentioned, like Dino and Walter Bot, try and make their way back into Dominant next split in the spring, because I know that those types of performances will better at least, I think, half of the Dominant slate that we have of teams. So it's certainly been a very amazing day full of awesome action-packed League. Rarely in January do you get League of Legends with such implications that feel like playoff games. So it's been an absolute pleasure. And before you get your final thoughts, I do want to quickly close out. I don't know exactly which team ended up 2-1 or 1-2 between For Fun and Children of the Void, but those two teams slot in as two of the three final teams. Congratulations to both of those squads. Children of the Void, obviously, we saw start off with a rough first game, but are able to make it to pre-made Dominant Winter 2023 split, along with For Fun, who we also saw lose. Both of them made it. They're both into Dominant, so congratulations to them. And of course, obviously, the Lobster option 3-0, they're slotted in for this pre-made Dominant, and I would argue they have a chance to really make some noise among the other teams.
Oh, absolutely. Even though they're coming in at one of the lower seeds, they're coming in the 14th seed, they're still a team that you're going to want to watch. Even though they have a cheeky Bedard-focused composition that basically it's the Bedard show. If you don't have an answer for that, you're going to get rolled over by Bedard. But we have a whole set of other competitors out there that are just as hungry for the title. They're going to give Bedard and his crew a run for their money. So you got to hit the books. You want to watch these tapes. You get a little bit of extra practice before you actually hit the regular season, see some of the competition, and make sure that you are prepared for the regular season. And as for Renge Tea Time, I like you said, I really hope to see at least some of those players, if not that whole team, come back later. They put on a hell of a show. I just want to put things into perspective. Seeing a Flame Horizon in a game, which is a 100 CS differential, is very rare and is like a mark of like insanity. There were 2 Flame Horizons in that game, both of them over Renge Tea Time, and Renge Tea Time was still making it look competitive. So that is ridiculousness if I've ever heard of it. So I really do want to see these players come back. If there's any coaches watching or any organizations that are, tuning in for these, take a look at this Renge Tea Time squad. They have some talent to offer. Maybe worth scouting out, picking up, getting a coach in there, and tightening that ship up for maybe the next season.
Certainly a good homage to make their might. And Well, if foreshadowing is your cup of tea, I think I can speak for everybody on our side of the pre-made dominant winter 2023 split production, with which is Chippy, Lom, Crims, Might, as well as you. I mean, this split, if anything is eluded by the play-ins, we're in for an action-packed split, maybe one of the best in dominant history.
I'm so excited. This was action-packed plans. We've already got some heroes, we got some villains, and we are just getting started. Make sure that you are tuned in because we're going to be here every Sunday afternoon, bringing you the Dominant League, Diamond Cap League here at Risen Esports, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be dope. Make sure you're here.
It's going to be completely awesome. And if you were curious, I know sometimes when you go from split to split with this amateur scene, you sometimes see defending champions either leave to go play in a different amateur series with a different tournament organizers, or you see them maybe try and step up to a higher level. I can confirm to you that our defending champions of the 2022 fall dominant split are still here. We still have the winning formula. They're for the winning formula fried chicken edition. We'll figure out why they're the fried chicken edition now instead of just the winning formula. But they are still back here, Lee Sinners and company, looking to go for back-to-back titles. We have a bunch of fun teams you just saw on the plans, and so many more intriguing players from both collegiate rosters I can see now, as well as organizations that so many recognize. Yeah, Mike.
So as somebody who did a stint in Michigan, I lived in Michigan for a couple years. We see Michigan Blue and Michigan Maize and an OSU team. So I can't wait for the Ohio State Michigan U of M rivalry matches to go. Those are going to be absolutely bloodthirsty. I can already feel it.
Yeah, Ohio State University Buckeye Gaming Club, another one of those returning teams. And Michigan, they have two teams as well. So they have Michigan Blue in this level of play, and they also have a Michigan squad up in Divine. Speaking of Divine, unfortunately, this is the close for our this week of Dominant across both streams. So you have to wait till next week. But you don't have to wait till next week to see some more Risen Esports League of Legends action, because in just, well, basically 2 days, exactly from now, about 30 minutes off, we will be back with the Divine League split week 2. We'll be showcasing some more teams in that set. Michigan's esports team has a team in that set as well. And funnily enough, you'll also get to see both Lom and Crims next week on that broadcast as well, running this very desk that you see me and Mike running. So make sure to tune in for that. Make sure to stay locked to all the socials as well for Risen. You see ours as well. All follows are appreciated for the awesome crew and cast of both Analyst Desk and Casters. Shout out once again to Lom and Crims for killing it on the broadcast tonight. And the biggest shout out of all goes to Chippy, running all the production stuff behind the scenes, making everything look as professional as possible. That will close us out for a little bit of preseason play-ins for pre-made dominant winter 2023 split. But I know me and Mike will be seeing you soon next week when we kick off this season in one hell of a blaze. See you guys next week.